Is up, everybody? Welcome to Chalkcast. Hold on, wait for the cams. Oh god, sorry about my cam. Welcome to Chalkcast number 15, everybody. We got some banger guests. By the way, in case people don't know, Johnnyboi and CJCJ are the co-hosts of this show. I feel like we never actually said that, but maybe we did. But stop laughing.
I think you intro us as co-hosts.
Yeah, intro you guys as co-hosts. These are my co-hosts, but we got some special guests here. We got Archie, Sizz, and ApparentlyJack. And I just wanted to know, Jack, I mean, he had some stuff that he wanted to tell us, and I just want to know what he was so
obviously I've like 2 weeks in a row, like coming onto the podcast. It's just like I'm just being, happy to join, happy to like join the podcast, and no, hang on. Yeah, I'm just happy to join. Yeah. Happy to join the podcast and get us going. So yeah,
that's really good. That's really good. Maybe one day you'll be able to spit it out.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we're happy to have them. But there's a big elephant in the room, and that's with NRG and Sizz, and I felt like it would just be good to, in case you guys didn't hear about what had happened. Sizz is no longer the head coach of NRG, and I just kind of wanted to give him the floor to maybe give the rundown of what, if he wanted to talk about all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Rizzo, for the nice professional introduction there. But I mean, I feel like I covered most of it in a video I posted. But to summarize, what happened, the NRG boys wanted to make a change, and I woke up and I got a DM from the big boss man, and he's like, "Yeah, peace out." So that's a summary of it.
He was like, "Yeah, peace out."
Yeah, peace out, bro.
Boss man was just like, catch a boy.
There were more information, of course, in your YouTube video for all of the probably the minority who haven't already watched it. I imagine a lot of people here have already seen it. But yeah, you went into a lot of detail there. It sounded, at least from the video, that you parted on good terms, from what I could hear.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not that it's ideal.
I mean, listen, I think both parties can agree that things could have gone down better, but it's not like I hate them or anything, but
well, I think I'm referring to. I'm pretty sure you said that Garrett is one of your best friends.
Yeah,
it's something I can't remember the exact words, but yeah. So you said Garrett specifically, so yeah, rip Justin Squishy, but Garrett at least is.
It's like when you get kicked from a team, you're like, oh, but it was all good, yeah, and you're like, yeah, no, it was sweet as, I'm so happy to be here. Like, obviously, it's not the best terms, but yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, they're still my boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Garrett was literally staying at my house like 2 weeks ago, so it's not like we're not good friends or anything. It's just, I think everyone that was involved knew that it probably couldn't have gone on better, but it is what it is.
Did you have any premonitions or thoughts that this could be coming, or is this sort of an out of the blue? Because obviously, the whole talk over all the off season is, NRG, what's going on? Well, to some it might be a bit not warranted. You got top 8 of worlds, but obviously the talk is NRG. We expect them to be a top whatever team in the world. They're not quite performing at the moment. They might have to make a change. Obviously, you guys stuck together and didn't go quite the best in the first regional. But did you ever think that like your head was on the block, or you'd be the first one of the chess pieces to move on that team?
I mean, just like from how it is in normal sports, like a lot of the times, like if teams aren't really working out, they usually just end up replacing the coach. But it wasn't really like something I thought would happen like middle of the season, like after it started. I thought if it would happen, it would happen before the season. So no, I mean, I'd say it kind of caught me off guard because the way we were talking about stuff, everything seemed fine. And like before the regional and before during the off season as well, like we were like prepping our new system and stuff and just like making sure we know what we were doing. And honestly, everything was fine. Like, I mean, this season, like, I mean, I always did a pretty good amount in terms of like analyzation for other teams and our own team. But like this season, they just wanted me to analyze like more, like scrim teams and stuff. So I started doing that. And I did it before, but not as much. So like this season was like every team. I have notes on like every team from NA, but like it got to the point where it was like the only thing that was really said was like 2 weeks ago where they felt like we were overcomplicating things, like too much coaching. So I toned it down a little bit, and then I woke up, and that's when that happened. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
really
interesting.
Interesting. Wow.
It sounds pretty. I mean, you mentioned in your video that you're kind of still exploring options. You haven't done the full content route before, so that's obviously an option. You've got a big fan base. I'm sure that would be very successful. But you could also coach another team is always something you could do. I actually, something crossed my mind just today, and that is that when did Rocket League go free to play? It was like in the last like 2 years or something, or 2.5 years. I can't remember.
RCSX, wasn't it?
It was like a year and a bit or something like that. Maybe like a year and a half. I honestly can't remember. But I know it was after you won the world championship with NRG, Sizz, if I'm not mistaken. And that made me think that actually because most of the Rocket League fans these days are going to be newer because of free to play. So actually most of the fans for NRG probably they weren't NRG fans when that happened. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they weren't.
That's.
But
I mean,
people don't know this.
I'd say yeah. I'd say like I mean, after free to play, there was definitely a big surge of people that came into the game, and like, I mean, they see the biggest roster in NA, and like they see the numbers, and it happens with any esport. Like League of Legends, you have like Cloud9 and TSM and Liquid, and then like for EU, there's like Rogue and some other orgs, but yeah, like every game that if a team is doing well in it, and they have big names, like everyone just kind of flocks over that team.
Yeah, they a lot of people probably still don't realize just how long until they watch your video. They're like, wait, that's a long time. You've been coaching this team for a long time. You got actually tons of experience in that role, LAN experience as well. So definitely something to I'm sure that teams are looking for a coach should look at very carefully. But for you, like what sort of teams are you interested in coaching, if any? Like, since you coached NRG, won a world championship, I feel like you're going to want to go down. I mean, do you want to go down to the bubble scene and help some ranked scrim actors, as CJ calls them, improve, or are you only really looking at top teams? That's what you're interested in?
I mean, honestly, I think I would only look at top teams. Like. I wouldn't mind doing it like as like for fun or something on the side for like a content thing, but I don't think I would actually do it as like a full-time thing for a bubble team.
I want to get back a little bit to the NRG situation. I hope you do well moving forward, but let's analyze this situation a bit further now. Sizz, NRG, I want to know, I guess, if you're willing to share. This team, obviously, as we said, that you probably were setting goals in the off-season or expectations where you guys wanted to go as a team. And obviously, this has all happened after the first regional where you guys didn't go quite well. So what were your team expectations moving forward? Obviously, you were trying to, redefine your play style, get back on top. But you sort of, this move happened because you weren't happy with what happened in the first regional, I guess, or you're not happy with, the boys weren't happy with how the team's playing. But where was I guess, if we get top 8, then that'd be okay. At least we're on the right trajectory. Or was there a certain thing you guys, were setting a goal for this split or this season?
You mean just in general, or like a goal as in we have to make a change after if we don't do this?
No, just a goal in general, not the change thing. But what would have you guys been happy to see, I guess, for the first regional, do you think, as a team with all the changes you've implemented?
Honestly, I think we would have been happy with top, actually satisfied with top 8, but actually getting top 4 would probably be more realistic for us. That probably was our more realistic expectations, is trying to get top 4.
And was that the only continuing with, with you as coach, of course, and with the same roster, the only consideration? Because there was so much speculation in the offseason that maybe NRG are going to change someone who would they remove, because there's no clear they're all still really good players in the the estimation of pretty much everyone in the scene. So was there any consideration of making a roster move, or is that just something that wasn't considered necessary at all?
After Worlds, we all sat together and just talked about it, and we said we didn't want to make a change, just because we have years of experience together. And during Worlds, like, we actually felt really good. Like, we were, like, honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna say that we were completely dominating scrims, but like, we were doing really good in every scrim. Like, we barely lost any scrims at Worlds, and like, we came in with an idea we wanted to do, and it was working well. At least on LAN. Like, I don't think it was that consistent, but like, when we were peaking, it was working. But that was always kind of the issue, was like confidence and consistency with our team. But no, I mean, after Worlds, we made the decision, like, we don't want to make a change, which I mean, clearly wasn't true. I mean, but so I mean,
change their mind,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, one regional happened, and I mean, I guess they just came together and decided they wanted to make the change, which I mean, it makes sense from like a sports perspective. If you like, I mean, if anyone watches sports, you just like, that's a very common thing that happens, or if a team just isn't doing well for a while, the coach will just get replaced, and I mean, it changes the vibes a little bit of the team, and maybe it gives it a new mindset or whatever.
I mean, just a fresh change. Like, everybody was talking about it, that maybe NRG just need a change, so that it's not surprising that that's the route that has been taken with your removal. Like, the reasoning being that a change has been deemed necessary. But yeah, it is curious that just one event in, they've decided to do it instead of, like you said, during the off season. It's to me, it's strange to see that just one regional, because I don't usually judge too much from one regional, especially in this kind of format. I mean, it's a circuit for a reason. You don't base everything off of one regional. But yeah, I guess we'll have to just wait and see. You going to be watching closely this weekend, Sizz?
Do you want them to do well?
You going to be viewing party
by chance?
Do a view party.
Yeah, no. I will. I mean, yesterday I did a viewing party on the qualifier, and I mean, I was just kind of trolling a lot. But every time like they were playing against Rogue and Aqua would score, I just start fucking screaming. Let's go! But I mean, no. I mean, I still I'm telling you, I'll still support them. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a game or two lost. You know what I'm saying?
Sizz, yeah, now you're off the team. We've sort of discussed in, I think, previous week shows, NRG. Johnny said our thoughts on them. Perhaps they need to change. Perhaps it's a bit stale, stuff like that. Now you're off the team. Can you give us a little bit of insight? What do you think perhaps NRG need to be doing? Is it still the play style? Do you think if they can bring in someone new, putting your own ego aside, perhaps maybe, maybe
CJ's asking like who's next? They've changed you, but who's next?
I was working around it, Johnny.
We're at the door meme.
Like, clearly, like they were after Worlds, let's all stick together was the idea, but hasn't worked. But now if they fail again, someone's got to go, right? So yeah.
No. Let's not
start.
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Don't make it down. Let's work around it. Let's say, like, what does that team need though? Is it do they need to not who they're going to get rid of, but do they perhaps need that young scrim anchor? They need the bubble player, the mech guys that people are bringing in. We see obviously Chronic coming on for Gen G with Jack and stuff, bringing like the young, youthful, talented guys on with the older, experienced players seems to be a recipe. Do you see that? Sizz?
Oh, you were talking to me? I thought you were talking about Johnny.
Yeah. No. I want to. I'm saying, like, you don't have to say who they should get rid of, who's the worst player, who's next. I just want you to say, do you think perhaps bringing on a younger guy with a couple of the older experienced guys could be a
honestly, yeah. I think like the more you play Rocket League, you just I mean, like you do lose motivation. Like, it's hard to stay at the top so long. Like you have to have like a really, really good type of mindset where you're always focusing on grinding and improving, which I mean, and anywhere it's really hard to do, no matter what profession you're in. But like the new blood in Rocket League, they've never been to LANs, they've never been in RLCS, experiencing like the crowd cheering for you, and seeing the prize money and seeing the orgs look out for you. So like, I mean, they for sure would have more motivation. If the players that are currently at the top like don't keep that mindset, then they'll like, I could definitely see people getting surpassed.
So who do you think they should kick, and who do you think they should get in for the spot?
Okay, let's.
No, I mean, I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
If I speak, let's loop this back a little bit. For Archie and Jack, do you think how big of a difference do you think a coaching change can actually make for a team? Is it useless, or is there actually a need?
I think if once the team is done, the team's done.
No, I don't agree.
You don't think?
No, when we got rid of Rams, we did good. So
wait, hang on. Oh yeah, fair enough.
Archie is gone.
Listen.
Archie is a thing
Archie's
of the past.
taking what is it? 24 minutes
He
one
said
sentence,
one
and with his
wait,
first
wait.
line, he's just
Wait.
he's straight back at it.
He said
God, I'm
nothing
sorry,
on podcast.
Oh my
He said
Bro.
nothing.
No.
He said,
No.
Rams is a fraud.
No. I'm just basically saying Billy's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, because they brought in Billy for Semper, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the coaching change was okay. I see what you're saying.
But I think NRG need a player change.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a coaching change can make a difference, right? But I just think that. So it's. Yeah. I just think that it's just done, sometimes with the team. For the example I'm going to use is my old team last season. I think we were just done, and then we brought a coach in, and it was just no matter who we brought in, I don't know, maybe we brought in someone else, it could have worked, but you can't revive a mentality, but perhaps the mentality's still there for NRG, so I don't know.
So it can make a difference, but not.
But I don't think it will.
Not in some teams. There's nothing the coach can do. Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
new coaches given the mission impossible. I'm thinking
like,
mostly about what about Moist, or rather they were Queso at the time. They said that they had Nick coaching them, and then they told him to stop coaching for winter, and they did better.
Yeah, but
So
I think that's different.
Change.
Okay, but they're not on a down. I'm talking about teams that are on a downwards trend,
or stagnated.
Well, not really stagnated. I think what I mean is a downwards trend. That's what I'm on about, and I think NRG have been on that one. Well, I guess they had a good performance at Worlds, so I guess not. But from the online season that we've seen in the past 4 regionals, I think they have been a little bit. So, yeah, that's just my take on it. I just don't know how much it can help, but something needed to change, I think.
So, P Archie, you said a player needs to be changed. Who?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of issues on that team.
Who do you think is out? Who do you think should be the main
Archie wants to blow the team up.
I mean, I feel like if you replaced Garrett, for example, would they be top 5?
If I replace Garrett G?
Yeah.
In is this an NA or EU?
Well, you got to mention the player they're grabbing too. That's
no. He said Archie himself. Is that what you mean, Jack?
Yeah, if Archie replaces goes in, yeah. Now, do they make...
I see.
I don't think I'd want to be in that environment, to be honest. So I think I'd keep Garrett for sure. Garrett has to stay. And I'd take Justin because he's ice cold. But I think for me, Squishy has to go.
Yeah.
Jack said yes. He agrees.
Wait, no, sorry.
I wouldn't say a word after that, bro.
Wait, I was typing so that. What did I just agree to?
He's pretended he didn't.
Jack's
It was a Freudian slip. We all know it was a Freudian slip.
Wait, what did I just agree to?
You said Squishy needs to go. You said it in your own words.
If I was Garrett, I'd probably leave. No, I
that's
think...
what I said in the offseason. I was saying that the smartest player on that team leaves because they would get such a crazy offer from they're the free agency, right? They would be a buyout and then they would get a crazy offer from another one.
I agree. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know. For me,
this isn't the first time that this has happened, right? Didn't Squishy tweet years ago that when he was on Cloud9 with Torment and Gimmick, I swear I remember a tweet. I don't have it on me, but I swear he tweeted something like, "Why are all these teams making roster changes as soon as they start struggling? Surely it's better to work on those struggles with your team than make a change." Which is as an idea. I don't really agree with. I feel like sometimes now there's just too much baggage and you need to change. And eventually he did leave Cloud9, and so did Torment and Gimmick. They've all left to go their separate ways, and they've all done. I think Torment and Squishy have definitely done better without staying together. So I don't know. It's not the first time I've seen a team at the top do this though. Like just stick together because they're like, maybe we can figure it out.
Yeah.
So I don't see it though. It's
I think they still enjoy playing with each other too. Like they're
Sizz,
just such good friends.
Yeah.
I wanna. Well, I'm trying to give you some questions that you can answer here, right? So we're gonna loop it back to you again. What was, I guess, would you be able to share what the sort of overall team vibe was towards the latter part of your coaching with NRG? Like, what was the talking like work ethic, stuff like that? Because we're talking about from the outside, we feel like it's a stagnant team. Do you feel like it was getting a bit stagnant on the inside with how much people were practicing or analyzing, wanting to improve, or just the overall team belief, maybe?
I'll say that I think like through personal relationships and like mentality, it was getting better. Like a big thing that we did was like making sure we're kind of open to each other about like a lot of times like we would emphasize if anyone feels anything wrong during the game or during scrims, we talk about it in between the games, or even like if it's scrims, we'll even talk during the game. If we're getting blown out, we'll just be like, okay, what are we doing next game? Like, how can we improve this or like fix on whatever someone feels is doing wrong? Sometimes though, I'll say like I think stuff that happens outside of the game might affect the players too much. Like, especially during like scrims and stuff. Like scrims won't be taken too seriously sometimes, or they're just going. If you're not, I feel my personal thing is like if you're not going into scrims with the mentality that you want to improve during this hour of scrims versus team, then it's just like a waste of time. You're just going into to just game and you're not gaining anything out of it. So, if you come in with a bad mentality and like you're kind of dragging other people down and maybe like you're not calming or you just like don't feel good today, or like if you're not telling your teammates that, being open to them about it before the scrim, like telling them like, hey, sorry guys, I might not play well today. Or something like, that's fine. But at the same time, like you want to always at least go in with like the idea to improve.
Yeah. And I think like with those players, right, is that they've all just been scrimming like every day for years.
Exactly.
And even if it's been with each other, like that just gets like, it just get boring. Sometimes you just need a new environment. And I think that's just the case for this team.
For you, she's like, personally, say, when I was playing on a team, there'd be situations like you said in scrims, right? There might be a guy that's not having a good day, say, right? And he might not be comming, or he's not comming as much. And you're thinking, well, and then perhaps, some issues are happening in the game. There's a couple of double commits or the rotations are falling apart. And then I guess, is that sort of your mindset of like, well, what's the point in scrimming for this hour block if you're going to be common on game day? So what's the point like scrimming now where, some issues are forming when perhaps one person's not comming or they're not feeling it, not playing like it's game day, basically. There's no point like practicing bad habits where someone's missing comms and stuff like that. Is that sort of situation?
Yeah, it's okay to have bad days, but it's like, you can't let it like ruin your whole week and ruin the others around you. Like, if you're having a bad day, like there's nothing wrong with just saying like, I think we should cancel today's scrims, or like, hey guys, today during the scrim, I'm just gonna focus on like my mechanics and stuff because I'm not feeling too well, like the comms and stuff, whatever it is. But
what about?
if you're at least prefacing it. Sorry, go ahead, Johnny.
No. They continue. I didn't want to interrupt.
I'll just say if you're not like prefacing it before the scrim or just like being open to your teammates, I feel like it'll be detrimental to the team. But that's pretty much it.
What about the Jan method where he just like mutes Discord, blasts his music in scrims, and they just vibe? Like, do you think that's viable for teams as a way to?
I think he does that in RCS though.
Well, in RLCS, he just like turns off his Discord.
Wait, does he do that? Oh, I didn't hear that part.
No. They said like during practice. I think it was when we had Mateus, the manager for Furia, on here. He explained to us that Jan in practice, like sometimes he'll just be like, I'm not, no comms, just goes during scrims, just goes music mode only.
I wouldn't say that's like really a good thing. I feel like if you're like if you're used to it with your team for a while and like you're still having success with it, like if it's something you've been doing for a long time and you don't see an issue with it, then maybe. But like I don't feel like that's really that viable. Like I mean, nothing wrong with playing music, but no comms. I feel like is always a bad thing.
Like I think that's a case of like if you heard of a lower ranked player doing that, on a lower team, you'd go, that's unprofessional. But like if they're good, then, like they get leeway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Jan can probably do what he wants.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, so it's
he
like
can probably do what he wants.
It's just yeah. So yeah.
Says
There's
what?
so many
How much?
comments.
How much? Well, what's your take on the whole like NRG, Scrim Commandments kind of era? What's your inside info on that?
I mean, like it was like half of it was partially true, half of it wasn't. Like, I definitely would say some like versus some teams, probably would get more triggered and tilted versus other teams. Especially the bumps. I mean, like the bumps, there's no denying that it triggers them. I think everyone knows that, even if you're not part of the team. But
Yeah.
like it just happens a lot. More, I'd say. I mean, I don't really know other rosters. It could just be because we're a more popular team that people mention us more. Like, I'm sure other teams get triggered by some of the similarities, but
Absolutely.
I can't get over Rizzo. Looks like he's on.
What?
The webcam looks like he's on a Meagle.
HK said I'm at the beach and this is just a green screen behind me.
Every time I look at Rizzo,
I've been dying.
it's like he's on a Meagle. He's like, hey, baby girl, what you doing?
I had to like push my microwave because I just started. I was like, I'm actually not going to be able to hold it together for the whole podcast. I was like, I can't. I think AJ he looks like Steve from Minecraft right now.
Oh my goodness! For the listeners who don't have video, Rizzo he's at a different setup and he's using a really good webcam today. He looks like he looks like he's in a Zoom call.
It's also just like the front on camera, like he's on his laptop.
People say I look like I'm about to teach an econ class. So
yeah, you literally you look like you're at your class Zoom ready to start teaching.
You look like a teacher who has no idea how to keep the class from like laughing.
Yeah. Can you guys please
you just
stop
have no control whatsoever.
I'm trying to teach my course. Thank you.
Oh my god,
it's a good setup. It fits the vibe of the show very well.
I think we need to just cover that, get that out of the way, so we can move on.
Get the giggles out. There you go.
I will go back to
not that it's supposed to be a serious show anyway, but
I will, like Sizz brought up that like it's just because like NRG were popular that people kind of like
100%.
go at them a bit more, and it's like I've been here for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, and even in Europe, not so much, but it seems to be more common in NA that teams do troll scrims, or they like leave very early, or something happens, or it just gets cancelled for like no reason. I'm just like, if the team was more, if the team was a world champion roster like NRG was and so popular like NRG was, then perhaps it comes out a bit more. Like, so I think that's definitely something to that.
Yeah, I think that's always a factor with anything, like even with fans and stuff. Like, there's no roster that gets more hate than the NRG roster. Like that's like right now, there's no roster that gets more hate.
It's really silly. I think it's so stupid. Like people love to blow like their results out of proportion, and they're like, I don't know.
The chat, it's their
it's crazy.
The chat in the streams blows my mind. It's like the only chat, what NRG's chat during like day one streams reminds me of?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Forky's chat. Like anytime they get scored on, anytime they get scored on, they're just like, "Whoa, NRG kind of got clipped on there. What's that about? Why are they getting clipped on?"
Yeah, it'll be like a rolling ball.
They just want to start
stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be a rolling ball, and they go like, "Oh, every team peaks on NRG when they play them. Like NRG must be washed." I'm like, what is going on?
It's not shots against Forky. It's shots against Forky's chat. Forky's chat are savage. Like, as soon as he gets scored on, they're like, "Bro, you just got destroyed, bro. What are you gonna say for yourself?" I'm like, "What?"
Some of the best content on Twitch is watching Forky's stream when he's playing AJ in a 1v1. Those are like my favorite, like iconic. Like I will stop what I'm doing to go watch that.
But we'd
forget when he
AJ's chat in
Turbo.
general. Imagine if we had
AJ's they're both just AI chats.
Oh,
they
it's
don't even have,
AJ's
they don't have
chat.
real people.
NPC chat.
chats.
Yes.
Bro, my chat is getting up there. I'm not gonna lie, like it is.
Yeah, Jack,
it's
I heard
getting
that.
up there.
I heard that the other day. You're getting pretty annoyed at your chat. I was like, what's happening
I
here?
was just like, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, give us an example.
I don't know. I don't even know. Like I can't even remember. It's just unbelievable.
With
Do you think that's your fault?
I've got
as a
that's
streamer?
what I've got. I've got the Reddit AMA chat. Like I have, like,
you are
that's
Reddit's
what I
favorite,
have.
bro. You're the
Like,
you're the little
so
boy.
I go like you'll
love
open my
you.
stream. You'll open my stream, and every single like comment is a question. And it's like I press start streaming and I sit down in a suit like I'm going for an interview or something. Like they just bombard me with questions, and I'm like, oh my Jesus Christ.
With the Sizz, with the NRG, you know, we talk about the popularity and stuff. Though obviously there are negatives to that, but there must be also the positives. You know, you're on arguably the biggest supported team. You know, when you're going well, like when you're winning world championships and stuff. So you must have enjoyed some aspects of being an NRG coach.
Oh no, of course. No, of course. I mean, I have a lot of good memories with them. It's not like, one bad thing is gonna ruin all the memories, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm telling you, I went through a lot with that roster. Like I mean, everyone was always putting in effort. It wasn't like we were never trying, and we were always like working on stuff together. So throughout all the lands and all the boot camps we had, and any of the after parties we went to, all the memories will always be there. Like there's nothing wrong with that. The roster had a lot of ups and downs. That happens with every roster. I think it's just more glorified with NRG.
Sorry, Turbo said you.
Turbo's got an update. Yeah, he says Sizz kicked me. He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
That's beautiful. People do
Truth's
usually
coming out
tend to just dwell on the negative, so it's always good to throw out some positivity there. But yeah, I mean, you had a long history with them, so makes sense. You have a lot of positives to say as well.
And now you're on the content grind, yeah? Or still pending? Could be coaching
Working on
still.
it. Yeah. I'm gonna do content until we get the contract signed. But I'll figure out what's going on. But yeah, I'm leaning toward content because I just feel like I mean, I probably can make more short term with the coaching contract, but I feel like for long term security, it's just always better to focus on content.
Yeah, coaching doesn't feel safe at all.
Yeah,
because it's so it's difficult for coaches to make content because they don't want to leak. Like the content people are most interested about from coaches would be high level analysis about why a certain team is doing well and why a certain team is doing poorly, but that's just leaking strats almost, and leaking knowledge. So it's hard to find a balance. Some coaches don't make any content at all because they don't want to leak anything. They don't want to reveal any secret strats. But actually, Sizz, I think there's a massive gap in the market for you to dominate.
Yeah.
And that is to become a kickoff coach, pure kickoff coach, only coach kickoffs. Because every RLCS team
brought up in the last podcast or something.
No, I'm just
It's
saying
just
every
every week with
RLCS
this
team
guy.
needs a kickoff coach. They all need they need one. So you
I disagree.
could have your pick of the.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Archie-
Wait, hold on,
Archie-
Everybody stop.
disagree.
Archie
I
disagrees.
Archie said his 5th word of the podcast. Hang on, can we?
Archie, please speak.
We have the best kickoff.
Oh,
We
so
don't
you
concede, we
don't
don't
need a
score, we don't
coach?
score,
That's what you're saying?
No, we don't need a coach.
You have a
You
coach.
don't need a kickoff
Wait, I thought
coach.
you were disagreeing with the
Are you
fact that I
saying
said
that- are you
every
saying that
team needs a
Billy-
kickoff coach.
I disagree.
This feels like a beautiful segue to you, Archie, because you've been sitting there humbly waiting for us to pump your tires up based on the weekend's performance. So, talk me through Oxygen for the NRG Sizz fans. We'll get back to him later. I'm gonna ease him into it. We're gonna give him a break, and then we'll pummel him later on in the show. But right now, it is all about Archie. Oxygen Esports taking out the first EU regional, mate. Talk us through it. You were confident going in. You said that there was a lot of fraud teams, and now is it entirely fraud region?
I said players.
Oh, sorry, fraud players, fraud ex-teammates. But what are your thoughts now on the region
fraud
after
players
your event?
that didn't accept trials with us? That's what.
And
That's what I
some
said.
fraud ex-teammates that couldn't hit flip resets.
No, I never said fraud teammates.
I
just
thought
said-
you said frauds, but he
Okay,
did call
maybe,
into
yeah, they
question
were
their
frauds.
ability
Yeah,
to flip reset and be mechanical.
Okay. I agree to that. Yeah.
So talk us through your team. How'd you go? Were you expecting a dub? I know you were pretty confident still, but obviously you exceeded everyone's expectations, or maybe not. Maybe you were expecting first. But what were your thoughts on the region as a whole and how your team's looking now? Obviously a great performance.
Well, we lost to Aogiri, so I was very worried. I
was round one,
extremely
wasn't
worried.
it?
Yeah,
That
I
was your
extremely
Swiss
worried.
round 1 opener.
Did you think like, oh, like we've actually like this is actually just gonna flop, or were you just still confident? Like, so obviously it gets you a bit, doesn't it?
I was extremely worried that we lost to
Yeah.
GK Sailing. I was extremely worried.
It does get.
Oh,
to
just
you.
him.
Then,
Just-
uh,
There's
I
one of
mean-
the fraud players, as you were saying.
That's one of the fraud
We
players.
figured it out.
no. He's like a content creator, so it's a bit of an L.
Does VK Sailing do TikTok or something?
He does a lot.
Yeah,
of
bro,
Twitch.
he grinds everything. He grinds constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
And
grinder now.
TikTok, yeah.
I respect him for that. I do.
But then we 3-0'd Endpoint, kind of easy. Oh, someone on that team was someone that rejected us, by the way.
On who?
What?
On Endpoint.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Devo Simas Crispy.
I know,
well,
yeah.
Yoris asked him. I would never.
Yeah,
ask, by
yeah.
the way.
I was
Yoris
like,
asked,
when
Yoris
I
asked.
heard.
I didn't ask, but someone rejected us on that team. We 3-0'd them. Then we play. Who do we play after that? Liquid. Oh, that was so free, bro. That was so free, man.
No, you got look out.
Well,
Because
because of how they played.
Didn't one of the liquid players, was it Atto or something, or Chronic, like tweeted that they've actually figured out something they're doing wrong at the start of every series, and now it's like it's reps.
Who tweeted this?
I swear somebody tweeted this.
Oski,
Yeah,
Help me out
tweeted,
here.
Oski.
Oski tweeted
Was it
like
Oski?
he's happy. No, so this is how it went.
Oh,
Oski
this is
tweeted
about
like,
liquid.
Yeah,
he's
about Liquid.
happy, or something like, "Oh, I'm glad like we can finally see what we're doing wrong." And then the Chronic
That's the
replied,
one.
a Chronic replied saying, "Oh, and it's not even like hard to fix either." Like he replied to Oski telling him, "It's not hard to fix."
Well, we'll see
So
now.
yeah,
Sis.
So they're fixing whatever problem they had, and now you're in trouble with Liquid, basically.
There's no trouble. There's no trouble with liquid. There's
Wait,
absolutely
why
zero
was
trouble.
Liquid
What are
so
your
free and
thoughts on
Endpoint
the-
wasn't free?
Yeah.
What was this?
You're saying you said Liquid was so free, but you weren't saying that about Endpoint. Like
Oh, yeah,
why
'cause
was
Endpoint-
Liquid specifically?
Wait, let me get the scores up again.
to see Liquipedia flash up on his monitor.
Just a flashbang right
Okay,
there.
okay. Well, where's the liquid one? Nah, we didn't even go to OT against liquid. Endpoint took us to an OT, so I was a bit closer. But liquid, nope. Endpoint was a better team. Then we played
Endpoint-
monkeys.
Endpoint
Monkeys
is a
were also
best
better.
team, or
Oh, they played better that day.
fair enough.
But I'm also confused why Chronic blames Swiss for them playing bad.
I don't understand the hate on Swiss.
Yeah, come
at all.
on, guys.
He would have
don't
literally
get
finished
it.
14th. He would have
Jack,
finished 14th.
Jack, you're hating on Swiss as well. a
No,
little
no.
bit,
So
I think.
I think that when I say I don't like things, I tend to like over exaggerate it. I use the word like hate. What is going on, Johnny?
Sorry.
How did he even do that?
I'm sorry. I'm just like revealing that Archie's a fraud with my camera. Not only have
How
I
have you done
found one
that?
kickoff goal, but I found two kickoff goals in a row that you've conceded. What is
No
this?
way.
One, and then
Who won the game? Who won
let's
the game?
watch it again.
No, DC.
Sizz, sign him up,
Hey.
bro. Kickoff coach.
Okay,
Let's
I
go.
saw Yoris. I was
What?
like,
That's yours. That's yours. What is yours doing there? Hey, Yoris is awful, bro.
I'm
How
just
do you
saying the
not- how do you
kickoff
see
didn't
that,
really
bro?
give him a lot of help though. You know,
That's
he's
yours,
kind of
that's
alone
yours,
back
bro.
there.
No,
Well, it's
that's
okay
yours,
if
that's
you didn't
yours.
like that one. Here's another one.
Okay.
Where's the pressure of the ball? It's just like 1v1 right
Who
off
won
the
the game?
kickoff.
Who won the
Terrible.
game? Who won the
Oh,
game?
No.
I'm just saying we weren't talking about who won the game. Like we're talking about the team needs a kickoff.
that is
coach.
true. You were talking about
That's
kickoff.
lucky. That was so lucky.
I didn't even have to look very far. Literally, like found that
he
in
is
like,
right.
well, I mean, 5 minutes.
They definitely like scored way more kickoff goals than conceded.
Nah, you've got
but-
decent kickoff, decent, but
But with the Swiss
Far
thing,
from
I think
perfect.
I tend to like I use the word hate when I say like I just think that it can be better. Like I just think that groups is a better like first part of the format.
why though? Why
Uh,
though? What's your reasoning?
I like that it gives a chance for you to like prepare for all the teams you're gonna play. Like you see who you're gonna play.
Okay.
So it allows for like
Yeah, that's
preparation
fair.
before a tournament, which I think
That's
is a
a
very
fair-
like
yep. That's a fair thing to say.
and I think that I don't think it gives any like bad things like with season. Like yeah, you can get, groups that are harder than others, but that's just the same as Swiss. You're gonna get runs that are harder than others, right? So then my point is that if that's equal and it allows for like preparation before, then surely it's just a better format overall. You know what I mean?
Well, the
And-
issue with groups is that you can, unless you do double elimination groups, which is just double elimination, you lose twice in a group, you're out. If you don't do that, then you can have ties. So you need like tiebreakers, which could be either be a tiebreaker match. So
yeah, maybe Swiss is the best format. Like it could be.
I like groups in a single elim as well. Actually, though, I like it. I think I think there's just not enough. I don't think Rocket League's explored enough tiebreakers. I would love to see a goals scored tiebreaker like come into effect, where like two teams are tied on like game. In a group of 4, you'd actually need a 3-way tie for this to matter. So if 3 teams are tied on like series score, and they're all tied on game score as well, and they're head to head is a tie, then what if goals scored is the next tiebreaker? What do you guys think about that?
I didn't
Not
listen to a
goal
single
difference,
word you
goals
said.
scored.
Wait,
Yeah, I
didn't
was
even
reading
listen.
chat, honestly.
Honestly,
For crying out loud,
I-
chat, stop being so entertaining. You're taking
Johnny,
every
I fully agree with you, Benito. What I want to say is, with Swiss, I feel like the
maybe
only
Swiss is
downside
best.
with Swiss
I think it's better as well. I think it's the best.
The only downside is, as you said, which I didn't think about, is yes, you can prep if it's groups, you can prep for the teams. The only other downside is it, the pros, that seem to complain, is it game diff seeding for the next rounds. Be like, well, this team won 3, but we only won 3-1, but we had a harder matchup and now we're getting punished. So maybe if we just had initial seed for every single round.
No, I like
instead of
that
game
idea.
diff.
I think that makes it. I think that does make it better. Isn't that what CS? I heard that's what CS:GO does. I
Do
think
they?
for a lot of their tournaments, they have like I could be like lying straight up here, but I'm pretty sure they have like locked seeds for like.
Because then
That's
if you're
first.
number 1 seed, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you win 3-2, 3-1, or 3-0, you're still number 1 seed in the next round if
Yeah,
you
I like
win.
it.
Which seems like
would that run into the issue of like teams just always facing the same team though? Like every time that we had group stage, or was it double elim? I can't remember which format it was last season. Luminosity kept getting BDS every time, and that would probably happen if it's like locked seeds, right? You just every time you'd get the same.
Yeah,
matchups.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying that seems like the only complaint that pros like Chronic are having is like, oh, well, just because this team dropped down 1 and then won 3 and 2, like just because, I don't know, give an example, like Oxygen's game diff was bad, now we have to play them, but they're actually the second best team in the region or something like that. That seems like the complaint. But at the same time, like, you've got to lose 3 times. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, you've got 3 chances. You might have that bad run where you're versing good teams, but you're gonna have to at least beat one good team to make the top 8. Like the most of the time, there's that thing where a team goes 2-0 and then they lose the next 3. They verse like 3 top 8 teams for the next 3 rounds because they get a bit unlucky. And
Didn't that happen to PK yesterday, where they were looking good to qualify in NA qualifier, then they just lost 3 straight.
Yeah,
lost
they got
3-2
reverse
to
swept
Complexity,
in Swiss.
3-1 by Rowe.
but
3-1 by Nefarious. It's
but
rough,
like,
but you
if
got to
you-
win that
if-
third one there.
exactly, if you lose
Yeah.
3 games, it doesn't matter if it's 3 top 8 teams. You're like, oh, unlucky we verse like the number 1, number 4, number 5 team. Like, well, you got to beat them if you want to
Yeah, you
win
gotta
in
win.
the single elim afterwards. You've got to beat one of them. You've had 3 chances. Like, I think the biggest thing that people don't realize is it's basically triple elim. So,
Yeah,
what would you
true.
rather, like a single elim situation? Like, I understand there's guys that get tough runs. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we could have gone 3-0, but we end up going 2-3. But it's like, well, you didn't beat them then, so who's to say you're going to beat them tomorrow in the single elim? Like,
you're
you
right.
didn't deserve top 8. You've got to beat the top 8 to get
My
there.
opinion has changed because like as well, what AJ says in chat is like because you get the most chances, then the top 8 is usually like at the actual top 8 of that.
It's more
tournament.
accurate, yeah. It
Yeah,
tends to
so
be
I
more
think-
often.
yeah,
Sometimes
I
it's
guess
actually
it
like
is,
the
yeah.
top 7 and the 9th best team, or the top 7 and the 10th best team, but it's usually like a closer representation of the top 8 than any other format, where 2 teams can literally you could just have a crazy match round 2, or lower bracket, because 2 of the best teams decided to lose, so now they're against each other, and only one of them can go through. Like, when that happens, it's like, oh my, now 2 of the top 3 or 4 teams can't make it through here. Like happened in London, I think it was London Major. The lower bracket just looked insane. With Swiss, even if like a whole bunch of the top teams have a bad round 1, they can still all make it through. But in double elim or something, if all the top teams have a bad round 1, only half of them can make it through because they're all in the same lower bracket. So
Okay, yeah,
You're
my
probably getting more
opinion's changed.
consistent.
My opinion's
Like,
changed.
you look at Archie, with the greatest respect to him, they shouldn't have lost to, with the greatest respect to Ao Geary, They shouldn't have lost to them round 1. Did they get punished? Not really. They made up for it. They won the next 3. They finished, third seed coming out. They still had a pretty good seed out Swiss. In another format, like it may be like a full double Elium or something, they could get smacked for losing that game. They didn't, like, you guys really didn't get punished that much, Archie, for losing the first round.
No,
like you had some tough matchups, but you had to make up for it. But you did compared to other formats.
Swiss is free for the best teams.
Yeah,
exactly. Compared to other formats, if they dropped to it, like they should never have lost that game. But in other formats, if they did, that could literally be their tournament over because they might have had to then win 45 lower bracket games in the double Elium or something like that to win. Compared to you just 0-1 in Swiss now, and they ended up going 3-1.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great.
I also actually, like, unless I'm wrong and just didn't see it, like, I didn't actually see a Chronic complain about Swiss. I think they were just like, him and Oski were always just saying, "Oh, why do we play bad in Swiss?" It's not. I don't know if they complain about Swiss. They're just saying that they feel like they play at a lower level.
They're brain dead. They're brain dead.
How does that make any sense? Like, please.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying that's what they're saying.
They say
Like,
that apparently there's no pressure. There's no pressure, so they play worse. Apparently they play better with pressure, but then they lose to Moist.
I just think that they went They went 3-2 in the top 16 core, right? And then they went 3-2 in Swiss, and then just lost the quarters. I just think that they're in a bit of a, in a worse state, and it's not that it's Swiss. They'll get back up, I'm sure, but right now they weren't. So I think that's all it is. I don't think it was Swiss to blame that.
I mean, like, I understand the mentality of being like a do or die matchup, but like, why wait till you're in the do or die matchup? I feel like, I guess because the pressure's there, you have like, I don't even know how to explain it really. But do
like they can choose their pressure, like that's a mentality thing on that. That's on them if they can't.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people tend to start slower. They say the team starts slow because it's like, oh, the first game is Swiss and they're nervous and like all this stuff. But it's weird how, like, I guess just that mentality even happens in the first place, where it's like it's Swiss for RLCS, right? All the games should be like do or die, right? They should all, even though you have another chance, they should still feel like do or die, but it never is like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's the biggest cap when players try to say they play better with pressure. It's the biggest cap. Like, maybe you'll show up a little bit more, but like if you're not just playing your best regardless, like it doesn't matter if there's pressure or not. You just go in and just play your best. Like it's people like try to back like they're MJ in esports. Like you're just playing a video game and just go out and just play your best with your team.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like with the Chronic though, you say they didn't. He just thinks they don't play well in Swiss, but he literally tweeted like, "Can we remove Swiss from RLCS?"
Really?
Like
that's
Chronic tweeted
tweet.
that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Wait.
he tweeted that. I got 1,400 likes, and everyone's like,
Why does that get so many likes? No way did everybody agree. Nah, people are just liking that because they're like, "Oh, this is controversial."
I'm gonna come back to this later.
But he was doubling down like in the replies saying like, if it was group stage, we would never have had to play Carmine, Oxygen, and EG. Maybe one, but not all of them. If it was double Elium, we would have beaten Williams result first round and based on seeds, EG second round, yada yada. So he was complaining basically the whole Swiss format stuff. Like some people are going to get tough rounds. Unlucky, you ended up versing in Swiss the top two. You versed Carmine and Oxygen, but like that's just sometimes the luck of the draw with any format. Like you can always sometimes play the top two teams. But
they think they're the best team in EU, so they should beat both of us.
But it's not like he's complaining about having to play EG. Like EG, did they even? They came 13th in Swiss, so they went 1-3. So why are they complaining about having to verse them as well? Like they versed like two hard teams. And they beat all the other guys, so they still made it out of Swiss. I just think it's a terrible.
If they're down there, if a team's like struggling on the day, surely you want to play them. You don't want to play against a team that's hot on that day because there's always variance. Like any day, some team might be playing really well or not as well. Like surely it's better to play against a team that's not playing well on the day.
That's the problem, though. Is that there's this whole thing of like, we had to play this team that's on a heater, and we had to play Kami that went down here, and they're not playing well, but they are such a good team. It's like you can't have everything. It's like we're playing all the good teams and the teams that are good that aren't playing well. It's like, well, because there's a lot of teams that are in the tournament. You're gonna have to play someone.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fine.
My opinion's changed. I like Swiss. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't like. It wasn't that I hated Swiss. I'm just always like trying to think of a better format just to improve, like the esport in general. But there's always just going to be issues with every format. I guess Swiss does have the least issues now that I properly well, see it. So yeah.
I
Yeah, I
just
mean, I think
like
the only thing you could even change with Swiss would just be somehow adjusting the tiebreakers, but it feels like the most consistent format.
it just feels like the top 8 teams don't want to have to play other top 8 teams to make top 8. But like the problem is there's 16 teams in the group. You're gonna have to play other top 8 teams to get that. But they basically want the top 8 seeds just to just walk through to the single elim, and they don't want to play any of the other decent teams, or they'll complain about it.
Yeah, AJ says that Mist has a controversial take, and it says a chronic copes too hard to never get a 1 rating in a series.
What is the context of that one?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Where's the chronic 1 rating series?
Bring him on.
I must have missed that.
It's because he got the worst rating
Well,
in
I'm pretty.
regional.
Yeah, he got like a
Yeah,
.06 in a series.
0.026 or something.
That was in a game.
And then he had the
though,
worst
that wasn't
average. No, he had the worst average in the whole tournament.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wait, let me see this.
I think he had one game that was like, or one series that was
Yeah.
really like 0.0 something.
No, that was one game. It wasn't a series.
It was like
Just a game.
0.026
Yeah,
or
because
something.
he had 0 goals, 0 assists, 0
Chrome
saves,
said he
1
dropped
shot.
a .035.
A point
Yeah,
series.
there you go.
How do you even get like that low? Like, how is it just not a 0? Like, is it based on points or something?
Yeah,
Ball
so he had
touches?
100 and he had just over 100 points. It's because Octane rating goes so heavily on like goal participation. So if you don't score a goal or
and
assist,
saves.
Octane rating is like
it's not even it's mainly
interesting,
goals and
but it's not.
assists.
It
Yeah,
rarely
I'm-
correlates with like winning. I think there's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
interesting thing that somebody posted on. I can't remember. I think it was a Reddit post. Like somebody was like pointing out that actually Octane rating has a pretty low correlation with like actually winning Rocket League games at the pro level, and in fact, I think Score had a slightly higher correlation, although it wasn't like a particularly high correlation either. They're both like not the best. EPM seems to be pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. There's like
That's not been around recently though. I've not seen EPM like pop
yeah,
up on Reddit.
EPM
no.
tends to like, at least as far as like, when you look at who's high up in the EPM, you're like, yeah, that looks a lot more accurate than when you look at like Octane rating. You're like, what's that guy doing in like second? Octane rating or third? I'm like, what? How did he get up there? Like his team didn't look like they're playing well at all. Maybe he's getting shots and saves and goals or whatever. But EPM's I think my favorite that I've seen.
AJ goes, no one's gone that low since Sathu was pro.
So he doesn't deserve to catch straight.
That's crazy.
Man.
That's messed up, bro.
That's wild. You can't bring someone in the
Apparently, yeah, go on, Sizz.
I've never been a big fan of like looking at stats because it's like
Me neither.
I think
like,
it holds some weight. I definitely think it holds
A
some
little
weight.
bit.
I think score per game is very like solid because
You're
you
a
look
stat
at
padder.
you look at shut up, Archie. You look at score per game.
Archie,
and-
you're a stat pad. You
Yeah,
got
I
it.
got it.
Always
Yeah,
amazing
I can
stats.
agree. I can agree to that. Yeah.
yeah, and you look at score per game, but you've always got like the top 4 players up there.
yeah, I mean, I do know some players literally try to do epic saves on purpose to farm their score per game once they get a lead.
I don't
so-
think they do. I don't think they do.
Oh.
Wait, do you still
No.
get your mind when you can in ranked? I swear you can get points for like a high 5 or a low 5. Does that actually still count? Is that a thing?
That's what
Somebody
Tox
pointed
does.
out, like after a goal, if you drive into one of your teammates, I think you get 5 points, right?
Nah, no
Or
shot.
did they remove that?
Wait.
I think if you fly
No
into a
shot.
teammate after a goal is scored, I think you get 10 points. It's called a high 5. I reckon that was in the
it
game.
is, Yeah.
Did they? Is it still in the game? It is.
I think it is in the
that's like
game.
They count?
that-
Oh, this is fraud.
that's-
That just ruins scores.
Fraud.
then.
Imagine our most accurate stat, because I think score per
5
game
is
is
low
proven to
5.
be more accurate, and it's like you're getting points for driving into your
High
teammates.
fives
They
per
count.
game.
We're gonna see Oxygen
Everyone's
and
gonna
Genji
do
in the
it
next
now.
few weeks. They're just flying at their teammates. They're like just trying to step pad.
They're gonna leave the ball rolling into the net to the last second to get the
We
epic
know,
save.
we've
every
got to
time.
watch out for that. We've got to watch out for that. We see players, teammates driving into each other. You know that they're stat padded. Like from now on, you know you
Well,
can call them out.
They
on it.
used to have like, every touch on the ball was like 2 points, but then I think they got rid of that.
Oh, that's
Is it
No,
not?
Yeah,
in the game
that's still
anymore?
there. I think. No,
Oh, it's still there?
I think.
I don't
so.
think it's.
Is
I
it
think
not?
do you still get points for like first touch on kickoff if you're the
No, they
fastest there?
removed
No,
that.
they removed
that.
that one. They removed that one. There used to
I
also
think-
be like bullet hit. I think this is ancient, like way back, but you used to get
You
points
hit
for
it.
hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that hard. You just
Yeah, it wasn't hard.
like you had to front flip at like a pretty good time into the ball, and you get a bullet hit. I
Yeah,
don't think I was
bullet
around
hit.
for when that was
Points.
around. Like
There's also the dribble stat. where if you just
What's that one?
kept the ball in your car, you get like
Yeah,
15
keep the ball
points
in
for
your
dribbling or
yeah,
something.
you get like
Or
a
it was
1,000
called
points
juggling
immediately.
actually, not dribbling.
Yeah. And that used
That's
to be
crazy.
like I think like the leaderboard farmers used to like exploit that for points. Like literally, you could just keep the ball in your hood and like keep pinching it and like get like 2,000 points.
No,
like,
the
immediately.
what the farmers did is they just got a friend in a private match, like XP farmers early on, and one would be on the goal line saving the ball, and one would be on the goal line saving, and it would just go back and forth until
Oh,
because
yeah,
they
that's
just
what it
kept
was.
getting
That's what it
points.
was.
So it would go like 1 mile an hour
And,
back and forth.
Nah, see, you're making a mistake because I remember a video back on the day. You go on Neo Tokyo with the ramps, and you'd set the ball to a cube, like a huge cube, and you'd stand on the cube, and you get an aerial. You'd get an aerial hit over and
Oh
over.
my
and over
goodness,
again.
yeah.
That was so stupid.
That's the main strat. You guys don't. You guys didn't. know about it.
My
You're
man
like,
actually
"Oh,
did.
That's
That's
how
how he knows
That's
the
how I got
strat.
to. That's
No
how I
wonder
got to
you weren't pro.
Rocketeer. That's how I got to Rocketeer on the Xbox. Just got
Oh
like
yeah,
75
Snow
in
Day
that
XP
game.
farm. Yeah. It's
Genius.
good to know we're all frauds and everyone knows all
Well,
the
it's good
stats.
to know that like score per game is a fraudulent stat. It literally is a fraudulent stat because you can get points for driving into your teammate after a goal or flying at your teammate
Yeah.
after a goal.
The only time I like would actively do it is you know when like someone throws a ball down on your net and you sort of like wait a little bit to clear it just so like it's close enough to the net so it counts as a save, but it's like never really going in. You just sort of let the ball roll back enough and it's like save.
This is
That's a lot of
ridiculous.
different stat pads.
We need more advanced stats in RLCS and in Rocket League. I think I think the
Yeah.
scoreboard being the same as it has been since the start of the
Yeah,
game or
it's
very
very-
similar is like that's an easy way.
Yeah,
I don't know how easy it
demos
is in the
still aren't
back end, but
included.
like that's such a free way to just make the scoreboard more interesting. Is just change it in
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah, like they don't.
That's obviously
have,
not esports related. That's like dev.
They still don't have
related.
how many demos you get in the game, like on
Yeah.
the scoreboard. I
You
think
know
that's
how
just
much
one.
people would complain if there was a demo like
Yeah,
or
because
bump.
obviously demos
my
would be
goodness.
more.
If there was a
I mean,
bump like tracker,
there's already enough demos. It's like, why not just add the score? It's not like people are gonna stop doing it.
people would be
people would do it
fuming.
more. Like in
People would
ranked,
be
it would become
fuming.
more of a thing at lower ranks to demo if it got put on the scoreboard. But I mean, it's
Oh, people
Like
would be
it's-
furious. I would love to see the fallout from that because I feel like a lot of the casual Rocket League fans would be like, they'd hate it. I genuinely, every time I play Rocket League, and I have my chat on, someone in almost every session I play, I think every session I play, like for like more than like 2 or 3 games, someone will say, Johnny wouldn't play like this because I like demo twice in like the first 30 seconds. I'm like, what? How is this still a thing? People still say this at ranked.
yeah.
They would go crazy.
Yeah, Lola makes a good point. They could change the scoring system and all of a sudden with the spaghetti code, like the physics of the game and how wrong you can't even aerial or something like that. But I want to, Archie, I want to circle back to you because I feel like we haven't pumped you up enough on this win. Look, I watched the one of your series, the G1 series, the quarterfinals, and I tell
G1.
you what, you guys, that was some of the most impressive display of Rocket League I've seen. The pace and
I disagree.
talk me through your comms because I feel like you
bro.
you
Let
guys
me tell
are
you
flicking
something.
this ball around like anything I've ever seen. Like you don't shoot, you just flick it one more, extra pass over the top. What's going on?
I'll tell you one thing I said when we won the game. As soon as we won the game, early scored, I said, we need to do replays. And everyone said, yep. And then we did replays because we played so bad.
After the tournament?
After G1.
Was that game
Oh, after
5?
G1,
A game
after
5
G1.
series?
Well, it's best of 7. They won 4
Best 7, 4-2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the quarterfinal.
Game 6 overtime. I think it was.
Yeah.
But just talk me through like what your not your game plan. What's your comms like? Because honestly, like the speed that you guys play with like implementing your passing as well, like you're just always there. Everyone's always in the play. No one's all the way back grabbing boost. Like it just seems like you're also active on the pitch and just like pressure, shot, pass.
Yeah, we just play. We have issues on defense sometimes, so we just try to play offense only. So then we can't concede.
Fair enough.
Like I'm pretty sure against Carmine, I said after game 3 in the timeout, me and Billy were like, let's just play offense because we'll beat them, and we just play offense and we win. If we
Yeah.
play defense, we
Alright.
lose.
So you
Just
don't
don't
think you're
play
that
defense.
good defensively at all, or
Not
you
at the
just
moment. I
fair
mean,
enough.
I
Like,
played pretty,
pretty good. You, like so they have.
I mean, like individually, like we're pretty good on defense, but as a team, like no good right now.
yeah.
Like our comms are like awkward, so like we felt really awkward on defense whenever we played defense. So like we did replays after every series we played.
Even semis.
After semis, yeah.
That's scary.
No,
'cause
not really.
you-
Like after semis, it was a free win against Quadrant.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
Oh yeah, Quadrant was too easy. Yeah. So that was
They
just a
couldn't-
little
what are your opinions on Quadrant then? Are they top 4 team?
No way, bro. Okay, so the night before that series against Quadrant, we watched BDS Quadrant replays, and bro, BDS, what were they doing? Like they literally
weren't.
looked so bad. Like when you watch the games, like from their perspectives, like they were making so many mistakes, and maybe Quadrant was like peaking a little bit, but I didn't really think they did much. They just defended
EXO
and
was peaking.
wait for a mistake. Yeah,
So
EXO.
yeah.
He
EXO
had a
played
good
pretty good.
series, yeah.
But against us, they did nothing. Like, what were they? I don't remember one thing they did.
What
They just
Quadrant?
kind of, yeah, they just kind of like
It didn't
hit the
seem
ball.
like much of a
they just
contest.
attack with one player. They literally attack with one player, 2 sit behind, and then that's it.
So
Like they hope for the best.
was
2
Carmine
kickoff goals.
was Carmine in the finals? What do you think of Carmine? Were they the toughest series in the finals, or was G1 the toughest series? Or do you not think G1 counts because you don't think you're playing that good? Like,
I mean, we figured Carmen out after 3 games, and we won like 4-0. We won like 4-1, 3-1, 4-0 in the last 3 games against Carmen. Like quite easily, in my opinion.
yeah.
G1 was, I mean, it was pretty
It's just
tough because we
weird.
played bad.
Mm.
Our best series was probably Quadrant. Like Joey's
Archie,
played really good.
What's your after one regional? So now we got a little bit of evidence here. What's your early predictions for the top 5 EU teams that go to the major?
Us, Carmine, like I think guaranteed. Then Moist, BDS, and then the 5th is like, I think it's between like Quadrant, G1, Liquid. Like Quadrant has a big advantage now. They got top 4.
Yeah.
Like that win over BDS is so big for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see Liquid only getting 2 more top 8s, and I can see G1 getting 2 top 8s. I don't know. People keep saying G1 can win, but I don't think so.
Spanish
Like
bad.
we played so bad against them and beat them. But like obviously, like people say we play really good, but maybe that's
Because
just our
obviously-
expectations.
Yeah, with Spanish teams historically, right, is that they can peak, but they're very like inconsistent. I think, like from what we've seen. Do you agree with this one, or are they more solid than the typical Spanish team? Because I remember like the first edition of Queso, VK, Atomic, and Demensa. Like they won a regional, and then they like got a top 16 or like a top 12 or something.
Yeah.
Like, is this one more solid? Is this roster more solid or something?
Nah, I think the other roster's better.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know. This one's like they just give away goals so easy. I think it won't in like game 3 or 4 that we were like 3-0 down. We at least came back to 3-3 and should have won the game in normal time, but Joris missed open net. So
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, apart from losing to AO Yuri, you didn't have a single game 5 or game 7. Like this was a pretty comfortable
It looked
regional win,
comfortable,
but you're not. You're trying to say that you're not happy with how you're playing. So are you guys like that good, or is EU that bad?
maybe EU's bad, I'm not gonna lie. But like in scrims, we sometimes like the actual last week we played so bad in scrims. So like maybe that was a reason too. Like we felt awkward in scrims and then we felt awkward in tournament, but we still won. Which I don't really know how. Maybe EU's just not good right now.
With your lineup, I just want to quickly talk about, like, obviously, this is the everyone's talking about the duo, you and Joris. Like this is the duo that everyone's saying why they're not already teamed together. I feel like you can correct me if I'm wrong. From me, from the outside point of view, looking in, I feel like that you two are like similar sort of people, right? Similar players, not similar players, but very skilled. Some of the top players in the world. Do you feel like on past teams, as you said, you weren't too happy, you didn't want to like put in the time, but now obviously you've got a team that you want to practice. Do you feel like that you and Joris are almost like pushing each other to be better? Not that, obviously you guys want to be the best team in the world, you want to be the best players in the world. Do you feel like there's nearly that like friendly competition, or not competition, but you guys feel like you're really pushing each other like individually as well?
I mean,
with that duo?
kind of. We just want to win like every tournament. I mean, I wanted to win every tournament over teams, but I didn't have the capability on the teams to win.
What do you mean by that?
The team.
I don't-
Oh,
even
silence,
think-
Jack. What do you mean by that?
So basically, like on endpoint, it didn't work. Like
You didn't have good enough teammates. Like that's what
well,
like.
no. I wasn't gonna say that actually. I was gonna
such a
say
lie.
we all played defensively, so we had like no offense. So we had to change our playstyle where like someone would have to like Messi started ball chasing, bruv. Like Messi was ball chasing for our team. I was sitting like second man kind of, and Wave was actually hard third man, especially on LAN. Like he was hard third man. So we had no offense, we couldn't score, and then we were just shit on defense. So yeah, pretty bad recipe there.
So you're saying
And
like
then
having
Semper-
designated roles was like a problem for you guys?
Well, because none of us wanted to go for the ball.
Right,
We
but
all
it's
just
like
wanted
more
to-
free flowing now.
Yeah, I mean now it's like I have teammates that can win a challenge.
You seem way more comfortable, and it's not that like you didn't all like confident as well, because like on other, you've always been a really confident player, and you've always like performed on any team you've been on. But like it seems like you're allowed to be more aggressive, and you're allowed to be more like trusting in your teammates, because you know that just because even if you mess up, you're not going to like concede. Whereas I feel like on your old teams, sometimes, I mean, it's not a harsh thing to say that you do have more skilled teammates now. Like I think everyone can agree on that. Like, you know, I don't know how people, you know, when I saw your comment about like someone said on Reddit, oh, Archie said he didn't have mechanical teammates in the past, and I was like, well, every teammate he's had, I wouldn't consider a mechanical player. You know what I mean? But now he's got Yoris and Ole, so it's just different.
I mean, all my old teammates were like good players. Like he just didn't fit as a free.
Yeah.
Like me, Casio, bro, I love playing with Casio. Like he's like my favorite team I've ever had. Like, but like he wasn't mechanical. Like, but he was like by far the best teammate. Like I could literally probably still play with him to this day.
Yeah.
Like he's like he has like no mechanics, but he's good in RCS. Like he's actually sick in RCS.
I mean, I repeated it 3 times.
That's like a compliment sandwich, isn't it? Like this guy's so good. He sucks, but he's so good.
No.
I'm not teaming him, but he can't
No,
hit the
but-
ball, but he's really good.
No, I can't.
He's
hate
always
Casio.
said that.
No,
Like, you've
there's-
always said like he's been a really, really good teammate though, didn't you? Like
Yeah.
There's something to
Well,
say
I mean,
about
I
really
couldn't-
good teammates that like it goes unnoticed really, because if someone's not hitting a flip reset, the casual audience, or I mean not even just the casual,
This is
the
hitting me so
audience,
hard, dude.
the audience won't see it, but like some people just really love teaming with certain players.
Yeah. I mean, some of my teammates also I didn't
brother.
like, but that's unfortunate.
you didn't like, did you say?
No comment.
It feels like Archie, you know, in previous teams, watching you guys, you're almost like the perma third, like, and you probably were the one just trying
Yeah,
to.
I'll tell you why.
You were kind of like putting band-aids on the holes in the
I
defense.
started my
and stuff.
RCS. I was like a ball chaser, like a hard ball chaser, and then I realized I couldn't trust my teammates on defense, so I had to play third man.
And now you're very aggressive, a lot more. You're upfield a bit more, trusting. And you said your defense you're not too happy with, but it still seems like you just got trust in the individual ability of your teammates a bit more. So you just
Well, now I
happy
still
to
like
push up a
playing.
bit.
I like playing defense. Like,
You're
but
still
now,
are you,
now
are
I
you
can
still
trust
the
my
most,
team.
Are you still the most defensive player on your team?
Well, I mean, I probably save the most, but that means
Archie
nothing.
knows. Archie
Yeah.
knows that there's way more points to be gained in defense. Say if one
Facts.
team's stuck in
Facts.
defense for a whole like a 10-minute OT and the other team's constantly attacking, by the end of the game the team who are stuck in defense, their
Shots mean nothing.
points going to be unbelievable. When Psyonix made it
Crazy.
that shots don't award as much points as
Actually, yeah.
saves, Archie became a third man. He's like, I know where the points are. I'm
Well, I did that. I
way.
did that against Quadron actually. It was a 6-minute OT. Wave had like 10 shots, 0 goals, and I had 8
I
saves.
saw that, yeah. You drop over, like, you dropped like 900 or something.
Yeah, 900. That was pretty
I
standard.
feel like
in
they should
December, to be
make
fair.
saves be less points, like just randomly. I just feel like that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be so much value for
No.
saves.
I like the save points. bro, I can get like 4 epic saves per game. That's like almost that's 240 points. Like that's sick.
It's
Knows
actually
it.
OP, dude.
I don't even know how many points you get for an epic save.
Is it 60
I think
or something?
it's-
I think it's 60. I
It's-
think it's 60.
It must just be hard to
Is that
know,
the
like,
highest?
Mhm.
saves. You get points for saves. Like the
75.
ball isn't even going in. Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
nothing thing,
Yeah,
and then other
sometimes it's in the
times they
bar
are
and it's like,
crazy.
save. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, or
sometimes
it's
you can
like
get the
just
best save of your
wide off the
life, and
post
it's not
and
a
it's
save.
save. But like shots, you don't get any points for like a top bins. Like isn't any more of a shot than just like one that rolls along the ground in front of the net that they pick up that then counts as a
75
shot. It's like,
points.
well, that wasn't a shot.
75.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just want to say
Okay.
I had no idea. Some guy was like, "How do you not know? It's 75, by the way." Like, so but like I had no idea either. AJ
Well,
didn't know.
I don't
Study
yeah.
the stat lines.
So
pros
it's
don't
points
know
fibers.
this. This is what pros are bad at knowing about the game. Like they just know how to play. I don't know.
But like,
about the
it's
game.
such like AJ was saying, like, how do I not know it was 2 points per ball touch? It's like, well, that really doesn't impact. Like, I'm not going to change anything.
No,
Like,
that
only
one-
pros
that
aren't
one
gonna-
was
know
obvious.
that.
That one
Bros
was
are ball
obvious. That
chaser
one
for
was
life.
You should have known.
What
that,
about?
CJ.
I reckon if there was like the most interesting stat that I wish was tracked would be like effective touches or like possession or something, like if the percentage of a player's touches that are followed up by either a teammate touching the ball or them touching the ball again or just not giving the ball away. Basically, I'd be really curious to see
Quadrant would get 0
who's
points.
the best of this.
Already. They just boom ball.
Yeah, they just give us they give Joyce the ball and he just farms them, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally said to Joyce before the series, literally go dribble every ball and we win. And he got
Yeah.
2 goals per game.
Yeah, he dropped I think it was a 1.8 rate in that series. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never give him time, bro. He
Yeah.
will score.
So I mean,
Well,
look,
go back
Go
to Johnny's point real quick. But then surely use farm air dribbles. You know what I mean? Like the air dribbles would be crazy. You just get
Okay,
touch
maybe
after
maybe it
touch
has
after
to be
touch.
teammates then. Maybe it has to be teammates so
I-
you can't
yeah,
like touch the ball
possibly.
then to yourself. Like how many like
But then-
percentage of times that a player hits the ball and it's followed by a teammate's touch versus they hit the ball and it's followed by an opponent's touch. That'd be a
Yeah.
cool stat.
I mean, what if you just took score out of the game, or is that just a bad?
I think
No,
score.
score's
I think it's interesting. I mean, stats are like if they're done properly are very interesting. Like, and it's very. I think as well. I was looking at or thinking about ways that RLCS could be interesting. Imagine if we were watching RLCS and then you like a little like thing pops up on the side of the screen and says that was Archie's 200th career goal or whatever. I think he probably scored more than that. I just made up a random number. I just like to see stuff like that, but it's
Yeah.
not currently in the game or in the broadcast.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Sizz, I just want to say that we're probably going for like 30 more minutes. So if you really have to poop, you should go poop.
Listen,
just-
the
just-
moment
just
the
BRB.
moment I feel it come out, I'm jumping into the bathroom. I'm holding in for as long as
Sizz,
possible.
can you set up on your phone OBS Ninja and then can you just show us how the bidet works?
My bidet goes crazy, bro. I have like 7 settings on that shit. It goes nuts.
Oh my god, bro, it's a
Really?
high tech one.
Yeah, of course. It's like the whole toilet seat. It's not just the bidet.
Or like it's not like one of those hand ones like manual.
No, it's
Manual
like
hose.
literally
It's a gun.
The manual hose. The
It's
ones
a
that they
heated
had
toilet
in Saudi.
seat that when you
Heated.
turn on, it's heated. When you turn on the button, it pops out like a little thing, and then it comes out, and then it starts shooting water into your
What's the
bung.
brand called? I've heard of this brand. I think I know the brand.
I think it's Bio. No, it's not Bio Bidet.
Oh, there's
I
like
don't
a famous Japanese
don't know
one.
which one
I
it
can't
is.
remember. Which I know. Like I swear, like there's a Japanese. I mean, they love their bidets in Japan. But there's like one. that's
Yeah,
like
I mean, I don't like I don't like the Japan ones though because they're separate from the toilet.
'Cause
And
it's-
those, like, I want it to be connected. Just sit in the toilet seat, take care of your
Are they?
business.
I thought they were
Yeah.
connected.
Valid question. Does
No, I
it
think they're
splash your
separated.
balls?
Not really. Like maybe the tip of it gets a little wet, but then you just like hit it with it, and then that's it. You're good.
Okay.
Does does any of the bidets have like a hairdryer as well? Like a
Mine actually has a dryer in it. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
You got a
Oh,
fan?
So you're telling me
I have been using bidets for over 20 years. I just got the best bidet I could find.
I need to try this. Man. How much was
Wait.
it?
It was like $300.
Oh, that's cheap.
Oh,
that's
Toto.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally worth
Toto's
it. Like I would never know why you
Classic
would
Tell
toilet
me-
brand.
Have you heard of the brand Toto? They're famous for. I swear
Yeah,
they're famous
Africa.
for
That's a
their
good
bidets.
one.
I
Totos.
don't think I've heard of that one. No.
TOTO. As a bidet fan, I think you should look into them. They've got a great reputation.
Totos. I'm just
Yeah,
like happy
TOTO.
with what I got, but man, I could use an upgrade. Maybe it's been like 10 years since I've gotten a new one.
Just options, like so.
Yeah.
You can switch it up sometimes.
So I need to ask you, Sizz, like, have you ever, if it's got the dryer as well, have you ever just not used any toilet paper at all? You've just gone.
No, I always
flushed,
wipe.
It's
So
You
what's
gotta
the
always
routine?
wipe after. Because
Is
it's
it
like, this
possible
what
to
you
not
do, you sit
wipe?
down. I mean, technically, but
It
it's
will
like
dry
what, you want
enough?
your underwear to be wet. You know what I'm saying?
no, but would it dry enough? Like with the dryer as well?
I've never tried it. I always just wipe instead because it gets rid of it in one swipe. You know what I'm saying? But like it's legendary. You have to still wipe, but you use like not even like you use like 75% less toilet paper with a bidet, like maybe even more because it's just like it just cleans the fuck out of your cheeks.
I need to try it. I've never actually tried it.
I don't know how people can actually live without it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I when I go out and travel, I hate my life because I have to poop without a bidet.
Do you feel dirty? To be fair, like it's actually.
I do. I feel really dirty.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. No. Like I feel like so clean at home, and then out. I always bring baby wipes with me because I'm like I need something.
That's a smart move. Yeah, smart move.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like. I always feel so disappointed if I ever shower and then I have to go after the shower, And so, like, I'm thinking if I had a bidet, I'm sure Sizz does not have that problem. It doesn't matter for him.
No, I don't. I don't have to shower after my poops because I basically I just clean my booty perfectly.
You don't have to shower. I mean, I don't think anyone has to shower.
No,
sometimes, dude, I'm telling you, I've been at hotels and I just have like a terrible jazzo, and like I just have to go. I gotta go take care of business. Like I gotta go to the shower and just like making sure I'm clean because I just feel dirty. So.
Oh my!
I just feel dirty.
No,
but you never had a ghost poo where there's just nothing.
I have. I have. No, sometimes I'll wipe with the bidet and it's just like straight clean, like nothing there. But like most of the time it's like at least one or two wipes. Just
what about like just pre-bidet? It's just already completely clean. Like it just exited the body.
I mean, those are rare.
Finally packaged and smooth. That there's just no evidence. Like
those are rare. That's like very on occasion. It never really happens.
It's just so good.
Wait, Sizz, you said that sometimes you wipe after the bidet and it's cleaner. Are you saying that the water doesn't get rid of all the mess? Sometimes, like when you wipe,
it does. Honestly, like it just like Actually, no, it does. Yeah, you just use the water. It cleans everything. You wipe once, wipe twice, maybe, and that's it. It's done.
Fair play. Fair play.
Usually, you're just wiping to get rid of the water.
Wow. Need to try.
Well, I think you've definitely got a job in bidet sales.
I've been waiting for
to go a different route.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting, dude. Like, they need to hook me up. Ludwig needs to hit me up, bro. No cap.
Wait, Ludwig? Huh?
Yeah, he made a bidet brand the other day.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He loves bidets.
Why
He's a
not?
big bidet
Dude,
voucher.
I'm telling you, just all of you guys, just do yourself a favor and go buy yourself a bidet, and then come back to me and let me know how much I changed your life.
Really? All right.
I
Okay.
promise to God.
But wait, how Jack? You've just obviously moved to NA. How are you handling this single ply life so far? Or do they have more than one?
Johnny, we don't wipe with like sandpaper over here. What are you?
No, it is sandpaper. It's paper towel. It's sandpaper.
Like, genuinely, it's always single ply in America.
No, that's because you're at a hotel. Hotels are that's
I've never
hotels.
seen hotels.
Yeah, you go to anybody's home.
No, I've never not used double ply.
Like I'm in Airbnb right now, so I think it's fine here.
Yeah,
like, I'm hooked up.
Yeah, Airbnb's fun.
I brought some over with me.
Like everybody's so offended. They're like, "Nah, bro, my toilet paper has so many plies."
Well, look, I'm not gonna go to an EU hotel and expect everybody's house to be like 50 square feet. Okay, it's like I understand that people got different conditions.
No, I was gonna say like, okay, well, two things. I just want to elaborate really quick on what Rizzo said. One thing about EU that's like goated is like you actually can drink the water out of the tap. Like it's not possible out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really not.
Wait, I've been doing it here.
You're in Canada.
Where are you?
I guess it depends.
Where you're at. Canada. It's different there. No, it's different.
Yeah,
it's still a bit grey. Like sometimes it comes
gray.
Gray. Okay, it shouldn't be grey. You shouldn't.
Okay, I don't know about
that.
No, not grey, but like it does look a bit like discolored sometimes. Like what's the word? Like
does it taste tangy?
It doesn't taste like
what?
It doesn't taste like amazing. I can't lie.
What? Don't drink that, Jack.
Yeah, don't drink that,
bro. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah, in the US, there's
cloudy. That's the word. Like sometimes.
Okay, cloudy's not always bad. Like sometimes there's just something like
no, not murky. It's just cloudy. Like sometimes it's definitely not like. Don't worry, it's not that bad.
A little bit of mercury.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not. But what can I do? I'm not just gonna die of dehydration, am I? When I'm at my Airbnb.
Yeah,
What am
I
gonna-
reckon they've got bottled water,
then,
don't they?
you
but
just
I
go buy
can't-
some bottles of
but
water.
I'm getting back at like I'm living a degenerate life right now. I can't lie. Like I'm coming to the facility for like 14 hours and going back at like 3 a.m. Waking up at like 9 here. Like I don't have time to go to the shops.
It is no. It can be hard to find. I swear it's hard to find bottled water sometimes. I couldn't like when we were at LA Major this year. The hotel didn't have any vending machines. I asked the reception. It was like one night. It was like 1 a.m. and the restaurant's closed. I asked reception, "Do you have any water?" They're like, "No, there's no vending machines." I'm like, "Where on earth am I supposed to get water?" So I go on Uber Eats and I order water bottles from McDonald's, and four like half-liter water bottles to get that delivered was like $25. Like,
Wow.
I'm getting scammed out here. Why is it so hard to find water anywhere in this place?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough out there.
The other thing I was gonna ask Jack is now that you're you're not really in like the US, but like have you had any life-changing foods out there in Toronto or not?
No.
Wow. Yeah,
The food
Canada
sucks.
sucks.
The food sucks in America, bro.
Yeah, it's not good.
What?
No.
Yeah, it does. Come on, Sizz. Like,
It's
not
awful,
good.
bro.
No,
It's
no,
awful.
it's
Rizzo,
okay.
Rizzo,
Hold on,
Rizzo,
guys.
You've got fried chicken.
Okay, first off, Sizz, we're outnumbered. We're outnumbered. But first off, hold on.
Fried chicken.
Hey,
Hold
hey,
on.
Hey, wait. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Hang on, let me speak real quick.
Let Rizzo
Yeah,
speak,
no,
bro.
what I saw earlier is like genuinely crazy, right? Is I picked up a packet of crisps, and I think I had like I had this packet of crisps, and I was just like I looked at the calories. It's like 312 in one packet of crisps.
Bro, that means
Really?
it's good.
What's
That
in
means
there?
it tastes good, bro.
Yeah, that's
Three
not.
hundred-
not good, bro.
300.
Okay, but no, when you guys say U.S. food sucks, a lot of times you guys go to like the fast food chains. You can't be going to like the fast food chains and being like, yeah, that's like the good stuff.
But like sometimes that's all there is though. Like see if I look on Uber
That's
Eats
fair.
in
Yeah.
America, it's just like it's all fast food. It's literally I cannot see a normal like restaurant in the options. It's just all fast food. That's for me the problem. And like people are asking why are you like ordering water from McDonald's?
Look,
it's because like the
Joyo-
hotels are in the middle of nowhere. You can't get anywhere. Like you
Joyo
wanna
just
walk
said
to the nearest
Dave's
store,
Hot
it's, like,
Chicken.
45
Dave's
minutes.
Hot Chicken, yeah.
Have
You gotta
had
go
that?
to like
Did
the
you guys have that
non-chain
while
places.
you guys were in Dallas?
Yes.
I mean, in Fort Worth. You guys had
You
Dave's Hot
guys,
Chicken.
you do great
Nah.
fried chicken.
Nah,
I mean,
Dave's Hot Chicken.
phenomenal.
Okay, listen. Dave's Hot Chicken is still what I consider fast food, but it is really good fried chicken for fast food. You guys haven't had real fried chicken.
Yeah,
still.
seriously,
I
like
said you do great fried chicken.
Like
Yeah,
EU
got meat covered.
bruvs, they come to the
Cheap meat.
US and they go eat like KFC and they're like, oh, US food
That's
sucks.
what I'm saying,
Nah,
dude.
nah. To be fair, some of the places I've been to here have been like really good. Like I went
It's
to like
it's
went-
hard though. You got no time. And sometimes at events you literally have no time. You're all day working. You have no time to go get
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you can only
true, that
order.
is
People
true.
are like, "Why are you ordering to go outside, bro?" I'm like, "There's no time. Like, you've got a little
all right,
window
hear me
between
out,
going
bro.
back. You've got to order. The only way you're gonna eat, and all you've got is fast food. So like that's why a lot of people will complain about American food.
If
when they go
there's
there.
one in America, you should never use anything but DoorDash instead of Uber Eats. DoorDash is
Why?
just superior in
Oh,
every
isn't
way. Because Uber Eats is terrible. That's it.
What do you mean?
There's more options on way more options on DoorDash. You can
Okay,
more
okay.
stores and
Right. Writing that
family
down.
stores can
Yeah,
apply.
I'm downloading.
Secondly, if
Genuinely
there's
writing that
ever a land in San Diego, ever, I am
Mhm.
taking you all to change your life. You guys have not experienced good food,
Vouch.
and I feel bad
Sizz
for you.
Sizz
What-
is
what
like
are
the
we
San
getting?
Diego Smellsworth.
How do you
Okay,
think
okay.
I got this fat? You think I'm just
Say no
sitting
more.
here eating crisps? No, bro. I'm fucking dining at the finest and dinest type shit in there is,
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. You two Americans here. Like, what do you guys eat vegetable? Like, what do you guys eat for like a regular dinner? Like, you
What's
don't
that?
just eat out all the time. Like,
What
what,
is
do you
that?
guys?
Of course.
Like, what are you eating for dinner tonight? Or like what's
Nah,
going on?
tonight-
Tonight-
I'm
you know
not
what
gonna lie.
Earlier, I had salmon with pesto and green beans. That was my lunch.
That's a great.
Good
It's a
choice,
great
Rizzo.
lunch,
Sounds
nice
good,
and
sounds
simple.
good.
A nice little home
Okay,
meal.
look.
but,
Rizzo,
like,
come on, let's hear it.
If I'm
Look,
going out to a
mine doesn't
restaurant-
sound good. Okay, but hear me out. I have a valid
Let's hear
excuse.
it.
I'm in Florida. I'm recording content with Moy. So in the morning, I
get
had
to
some
the-
biscuits
get
and
to the truth.
gravy. Solid, right?
Biscuits.
Biscuits and gravy. Different biscuits.
gravy.
Biscuits.
Different biscuits.
Biscuits is just bread. It's just bread.
It's
Wait, what?
like
breakfast,
a,
gravy. Gravy
It's
for
just a
breakfast.
square bread. Like, have you had a Hawaiian bun? It's literally that, but like more crispy
Biscuits.
and not. as
yeah,
sweet.
not cookies. We're not talking cookies.
It's like making
No,
fun
yeah,
of-
not cookies.
And then in the middle of the day, we did
That's so weird.
you know how when you get like free breadsticks, unlimited breadsticks at like restaurants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we recorded a video of like we went to we got a bunch of restaurants to give us their free breadsticks or like their little appetizer breadsticks, and I just ate like 8 different restaurants of breadsticks for lunch.
Look at this guy.
Okay, bro, listen. No, honestly, you can't even count Rizzo as like a food connoisseur. This guy does nothing about
It was
food,
for
bro.
content, bro. It's not my normal day to day, I swear.
That's cap, bro. You eat that at home too. I know you
I
do.
wouldn't get 8 different appetizer breadsticks
Yes,
at
you
home,
would.
bro.
We literally did that at Steamy Piggy. We got 8 appetizers and shared it.
Okay, that's different though.
Okay,
Steam
good.
Piggy also,
but-
it was different. That was different.
CJ's right though. Like it is hard to find vegetables sometimes. Like you'll be at a restaurant, not even a fast food chain. You'll be at a restaurant and there's just no vegetables on the menu at all, like nothing. And then you order.
you go
like,
for
you
American
find
food, I
vegetables,
believe
I
you.
don't
They
even
arrive.
know. I'm
They
not
come
gonna lie,
deep
I don't even
fried.
know what you're talking
If it's
about.
like-
They
if
come
it's
deep fried,
actually like
I'm
American
cool, they've
food,
got like
you're right.
jalapenos and pickles, and they come deep
It's-
fried. I'm like, what is
If
going on?
you're going for
Like,
other
why can't I-
cuisine, I think you would find them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know,
American
I've
cuisine, I
never,
don't know
I've
where
never
you'd see it.
experienced that.
You would
Like,
find
I
them.
can't.
every
nah.
time I
He's
go out to
searching for
eat,
an exotic
Nah,
animal.
it is
Nah.
hard. It's tough out there.
fine.
Plus, like
It is.
I've got like so many like times where I've been out for food with like some of the NA casters in like it happened in London a bunch where like I'll order something and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And I say, "Oh, it's a salad from like whatever country," and then they look at it like, "Where's the lettuce?" I'm like, you don't need lettuce for something to be a salad. Like, do you guys really not know this? I'm not gonna
Salad
name and
just
shame
salad
anybody,
just
but,
needs
like,
to have the green leaves. That's my criteria for a salad.
It does. It really.
You can't
does.
eat.
It
like
doesn't.
macaroni salad. That's not a.
Wait,
that's
so
not a
hang on,
salad.
what-
You can't
what-
throw
what-
that in there.
pasta salad is delicious. Like pasta salad is absolutely delicious. Or like sometimes there's just like caprese salads with like tomatoes and cheese.
Well, do you know?
Like,
Do you know? You'll probably know what a Greek salad is. Sizz.
Of course, yeah. I eat it
Yeah.
all the
So
time,
I
yeah.
ordered a Greek salad, and then I was being questioned by multiple Americans saying, "Where's the lettuce?" I'm like, "What?"
Listen,
You
hold
don't
on,
It
like
doesn't. It
I'm
doesn't need
getting
lettuce.
my
It can
phone-
have
I'm
like
getting on my
arugula,
phone, I'll be right
spinach.
back.
No,
You
dude,
did-
please
the
don't.
time
No,
came,
please
yes,
don't,
go.
bro.
He's going on the.
No,
Oh,
the reason I asked this was because obviously, as you said, fast food. You're not going to get vegetables. I understand that. That's the same everywhere. But I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I was talking to Jarzo
Understood.
about it. I was like, do you have like like a roasted vegetables? Like you have roast potatoes. Like you have your carrots and beans and broccoli and pumpkin and stuff like that. He's like, and he was kind of like, not really. But that's like a common thing. Is like meat and 3 veg. I feel like
Yeah,
UK
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's not like a common thing in America. They just like combine random stuff together. Sizz saying that he has salmon and beans was crazy. Actually, that was really good. 'cause-
That's
It was
fantastic.
green beans, not beans.
He's straight. He's here.
well, yeah, green beans. That's what I
Yeah,
call
it's it.
beans. Like apart from obviously you got the other.
No,
black
I mean,
beans
I'm
and
not
stuff.
even gonna lie. Rizzo,
Bro.
that place, like, I mean, we ate pretty good. Like every time Rizzo was here, I was trying to think about somewhere fire. But most of the time, I will say, like, it wasn't really vegetable involved.
I'm looking forward to San Diego when I visit you, Sizz. I'm looking forward to coming right.
I'm telling you,
you're gonna take me out.
I'm gonna make you so fat you're not even ready.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna come through. I believe.
All right, since Sizz.
Yeah, and we'll have a rerun, Johnny, of the of Amsterdam. Red Light.
I want to hear that
Okay, okay.
bidet just firing in a minute.
Oh my
I
God.
feel gotta hear the bidet in the background.
I want to hear it
since,
going.
Since Sizz is on the toilet, I feel like this is the perfect segue. Bubble tournaments. So there's been a lot of talk recently about RLCS getting basically no support for their bubble scene. And like basically the teams who are like 17 and above, they don't have anything to play in. And recently, I mean, I've been hosting Regain with James, Jorby, and Corelli, and then recently Jack ended up tweeting that he wants to make an event as well, and then Rise even said he wants to do a bubble event in EU. So it's like
There's a lot, yeah.
people are making their own stuff because Psyonix is not, I guess, taking initiative and doing that themselves. But maybe the question would be is, should Psyonix be doing that?
Yes.
No,
Yes. Why?
Yes.
because I think that if there's more budget for RLCS, it should not go to the bubble scene in Europe and North America. It should go elsewhere.
You should go to European RCS.
I feel like there's better ways of spending the money, but I feel like there should be bubble tournaments, but I don't think they need to be a part of RLCS. And I think it's much better if it's like community driven, in my opinion. So I like
I think-
the stuff people are coming up with.
I think just the weird thing is, right, is that it's not like, community tournament organized. Like, it's like the actual community. Like, Rizzo's having it run the tournament and stuff like that. We don't have, like, we used to have I'm just trying to, like, we used to have, like, the Gfinity Elite Series for UK and stuff like that. We did have, like, these other sort of tournaments going around. Now it just feels like we don't really have much going on, like, from third-party organizers. And the third parties right now are having to be, like, Jack and then Rise saying he wants to do it for EU. Like, I feel like this isn't something that the players should have to push from the ground up. We should be able to have some third-party companies coming in being able to do it, and then obviously we can help them out or whatever. But it just feels weird that, like, this is an initiative that the players are having to, like, fill in the schedule when there's such a big gap.
Yeah, I mean, go on, Rizzo.
I think one of the biggest things is that, like, these organizers do exist, like, these TOs do exist. It's just that they don't have the money, and, like, the funding is, like, if players just give them the funding, or, players, whatever, creators, it doesn't, or sponsor, really. I mean, realistically, the best way to do it is actually having a sponsor do it, give the money. Yeah, I mean, but that's the hardest part.
If the players are going to give them money, they might as well just do it themselves. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. I think I don't know. I don't want to say, like, players should be doing it. Clearly, they shouldn't. But if they want to, have the advantage of getting viewership on their channel, then sure, they should do it.
That's what it is for me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, people say, like, oh, Jack's so good. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like an incredible thing for if I was to do this, which I should be doing it. Like, I will be doing one. It's not like an incredible thing I'm doing for the scene. Like, it's also just a good opportunity for content for me.
Like, you get something from it.
Yeah,
I get something from it. So. Yeah,
and also you're, like, growing your skill set.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do that, like, it's another thing that you have experience.
There's so many
doing.
good things out of it. So I don't want people to think, like, oh, it's such an admirable thing from these pros to do this, because it's not. Like, they are getting so much from it. So I don't know. Like, I just think that Psyonix should be pushing something at least for the players. Like, there's just. Like, especially now that we've got this third regional being invitational, like, these players do have to wait for so long.
Yep.
I think it's too long.
I think it's just the times to be like, I wasn't really advocating for the bubble scene. Like, we were sort of saying, just win lol. This is an open tournament. But then when you think about, there's teams that have orgs that, they're signing these players on for, year-long contracts or whatever, and there's literally a 3-4 month gap where these guys aren't actually playing in anything. Like, they're not getting exposure. This isn't good for the orgs. It's not good for the players, because they're probably going to break up, or teams are going to change between splits and stuff, because it is a long time. You may as well, see if the grass is greener on the other side, try out new teams and stuff. But right. I feel like, we used to have in, like, North America, like, was it like the Astro 3v3, like, stuff like that. We used to just have. It just felt like there was at least, like, these, like, $1,500 or $5K tournaments that were sort of all happening. Like, there was so much going on, you didn't really keep track of it, because it was just, orgs could just pick and choose, or teams could pick and choose what they wanted to play in. But yeah, now there's literally, like, it'd be different if there was that gap and we still had those sort of tournaments. But now we actually just don't really have anything. Like, if you don't make the top 16 for this third regional, you can't actually play in any. Like, are there any tournaments apart from maybe like $100 one you could find on Smash GG?
I'm not 100% sure. Like, the only thing that comes to my mind is Regain tournament hosted by Rizzo, JamesBot, Corelli, and Johnnyboi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But no, realistically, the only, like, or they're not able to play in anything until January 27th. That's when their next qualifier is.
That's quite bad. Do you know what I mean, Johnny?
If they could play Regional 3, it would still be, like, close to the same amount of time, right? I'm not saying that this is, an okay length of time, but if they could play in Regional 3, they would be 2 less weeks of a gap.
So
it's still the problem, though.
So my point that, because
let's not forget Christmas is there too, the holidays.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about this a little bit before the podcast started. Actually, like, that was a point, and all I said was, like, just because now the time is only increased by 2 weeks that they can't play a tournament, it doesn't mean that it was good before. You know what I mean? It's just now a worse version of bad.
My thing is, like, I don't think that the problem necessarily. I mean, it's easy to put the two things together and say it's an issue that the regional format now is that top 16 get invited and the bubble players have nothing to play. So therefore, it's you can easily jump to the conclusion that therefore this is worse to have an invitational regional 3. But I think that's not. It doesn't mean that I don't think it's as black and white as that. I think, like, the issue is more about the fact that, like we've been talking about, there's a lack of things for the bubble scene to do. And if there was more to do, I don't think it would matter. I don't think anyone would really mind that they can't play in Regional 3 as much. If you can't play Regional 3, but you could play in 2 or 3 other tournaments, then they're not going to have any complaints, I would say. So
He's back. He's clean.
There's a way to make this work, but yeah, communities stepping up.
No, I think the biggest thing though that we're not really. Yes, there's a gap now, but I'm just looking at it. If you're outside the top 16, and you were outside the top 16, so we're just talking about the bubble scene right now for North America. Yeah, just North America in particular, but it is global, obviously. So the last tournament last season, spring closed qualifiers regional 3, was the 22nd of May. So then we had a 4-month gap until the next season starts. You play 2 regionals, and then you've got a 3-month gap until the second split. Like that's like 7 months of the year you're not playing. Like this is, and there's nothing in between. You're just sitting there watching the majors. You're watching the World Championships. Like these guys haven't played since May. They've had 4 or 5 months to get new teams. They've sorted it out, and they're just getting warmed up into the split. And then it's like, well, you're not playing regional 3, and also, well, that's the end of the split. So we won't see you until the 27th of January. Like that's from May to January 27. They've played 2 qualifiers.
There's an opportunity there, though. Like if tournament organizers are paying attention, they'll notice that there's a massive amount of interest, especially looking at how successful Rizzo and your event, the regain was. Like so many of the teams joined that, and the prize pool wasn't massive. It was like deliberately kept lower than what teams would win if they were actually in last place in RLCS. So clearly from that, what I can see. As a TO myself, is that there's a demand, there's an interest from both players, viewers, community, and I don't think it would cost a ton to run an event that you could, get a good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just be straight up. Like,
how much was gone?
Regain. We a lot of people were volunteers, like streamers. We paid production, we paid admin, and we paid the prize pool, and it was like a little bit over $2,000 for the event.
That's pretty standard,
$2,000 for an event. I mean, but then, with these community, why has my brain gone blank? Like the community people trying to run the tournaments, right?
Tournament TOs.
Yeah, TOs. Yeah, there you go. Is that still too much money? Like, is that still hard to get? Like, is over $2,000? Let's be honest. For these people that are high profile people, it's not as much money, right?
Well, they maybe have to pay more because if an org's running a stream like that, they'd probably need casters. So remember the cat.
That's even more.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I had 8 streamer volunteers, basically. Right?
Yeah, because
even
we
with
have
that, though,
such a big platform. Like we can get a sponsor. I
have tried. Trust me, I've been trying. It's very hard for me right now. I don't know if you can get one. Then please, by all means.
All right. Well, I don't know. Well, like from my experience, like when I put out a tweet like months ago saying, I might do my own tournament. Like I got and perhaps I got lucky, but I got very lucky with sponsors like coming to me, and it didn't go ahead in the end. But that's my point. Is from what I know, for people like us, it's very easy to get these sponsors, and perhaps it's just not. And if it's not easy, like you said, even if you struggled. Then imagine these tournament organizers trying to do it.
Right. Oh no. Yeah. I'm 100% in agreement with you. Like, it's easier for us to literally reach out to somebody we worked with in the past and be like, "Hey, you want to do this again? Like, give me money." Like, literally, like I've done that multiple times, just to try to host stuff. And some people say yes. Some they start working, or they start working to like do a deal or whatever. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, tournament organizers who have like no real showing, and like it's so hard for somebody with no viewership, like a TO or whatever, who's hosting like weeklies of like 50 to 100 viewers. It's like you can't really just approach a sponsor. Like you need somehow some connection there to where like they already know you, and like even then, I don't even know if it's worth it for the sponsor to put that money into it. Sometimes,
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the viewership, but like in the range of $2,000-$3,000, like you'll definitely get sponsors. Like there's sponsors in that range who would not be sad about the viewership that something like
100%
Regan got. Like that's easily enough viewership to keep a sponsor happy in that range.
Right,
would they get the same viewership?
Yeah, I don't know if they would get the same viewership. It depends on
that's
their
the
advertising.
They wouldn't, absolutely not. I mean, that's not, they can't, I don't think.
Without spending more money, I mean, yeah, probably not. It's hard.
I don't think they can unless they start doing more and more and more, and then they, you're starting to shovel in up to 15K by the time that they might even have a chance of getting a similar version.
Yeah, 15K. They're probably paying for an ApparentlyJack tweet or something with that rate. Jeez.
No, as in like, what I mean is like after doing the five tournaments worth, that's when you start getting up to that viewership because people are like, oh, these tournaments happen more often.
Right.
That's what I mean. They're going to get their name out of there, but yeah.
I'm very curious. I think it's smart. I think it's smart for players, people in the scene to try and be as versatile as they can. And running tournaments is another thing. It's another skill, another experience. It's content. So I think it's a good thing to see. I think it's the right way to do it. There's clear demand for it, so I think it makes sense.
Hear me out.
People who are passionate about it to do it.
Let's hit up Ludwig, get his bidet sponsorship, and we run the bidet weeklies. The winning team gets bidets.
Yeah, I'm down.
I like it.
Sure, why not? Let's do it.
No prize money, just bidets.
Because then it's like the bubble tournament, and you can we'll call it like bubble your butt weekly.
Bubble butt tournament. Oh my goodness, that's genius. Bubble butt weeklies.
How did we get back to bidets?
I just can't stop thinking about him. Sizz is sitting there so satisfied. I mean, he's had an experience.
You don't get it. Yeah, I had that shit oscillating.
Don't say oscillating.
Crazy.
Don't say that word.
It was crazy.
Oscillating, man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would just like to see more support because it's tough. It's tough. I think it's tough. And then you see all these people going, "Oh, we need to bring back the field."
No.
And then it's like, well,
no, we don't.
They didn't. That just died.
Yeah,
or it died at the top. I don't know if it died at, the field division because they had divisions, right? It was Division 1, 2, 3 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it died in the second and third division, but I know in the first division, I mean, it definitely died because I think that me, Polar, and Dead Monster are at the top, and we were a 20th team. We weren't even crazy at the top. So it's well, it just didn't last for that long. Yeah, it was a cool idea. It was a great idea. It was great at the start. But then you think about, they had the grid. So can they do more? Could they just put that money, if they had the grid in RSS, could they just put that money into...
Well, the grid was now they've used the money to basically do all the RLCS stuff. You know what I mean? Because they were just using the money elsewhere. I don't know if that even makes sense. I guess they could.
Well, the grid cost money, and they were actually, where are we spending all this money here when we could spend it better elsewhere?
Yeah, they're we're getting the same teams. It's the RLCS. There's maybe 2 teams swapping out. So why don't we just put the money towards RLCS and all the other stuff like that?
Do we want to?
I was going to ask a change topic question. Because Archie saying it's 3 a.m. He's starting to snooze a little bit, but. I wanted to ask Archie. You're pretty good friends with Amphis, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Did you watch his OCE matches at all this weekend? Your buddy?
Yeah. He frauded, unfortunately.
He frauded.
So,
probably won't see him at land now. So.
He finished 5th, I think. He finished 5th, is that right, CJ?
Yeah,
the new power roster?
Yeah, lost in the quarterfinals. That's obviously the power roster, the new supposed super team with Fever joining, Amphis Torsos Fever, finished 5th to 8th. However, they could be in trouble for the major. However, Ground Zero, who were meant to be the second team, because obviously Pioneers won. Everyone knows KCP. Ground Zero, the second team. Yeah, Ground Zero didn't make the top 2 either. So I think the second spot is quite blown open for the major. So Power could be okay now.
Do you think this is also... I don't think they getting 5th to 8th.
Nah, they can totally come back. All they've got to do is finish second, and they're in it. You're not done yet. There's 2 more events. I reckon they're fine. But the real question is, would they have made top 4 with Forky?
Yes.
There's a lot of discussion about
He's a freak.
Forky in OCE. Power content creator Forky, he was over there. They decided that they would not run with him. Are they regretting it right now?
Let's go further. If they don't make the major, bring him in. Let's get Forky in there next week.
Torsos was looking like a fraud. So.
In place of Torsos?
Yeah, Torsos was fraud.
I agree. You know what?
But you both watch it.
I think it's time to hang up the boots.
Did you watch OC as well, Jack?
Yeah, I watched the series. I didn't watch it live. I watched it back. I watched the quarters back. I didn't. I mean, not too intently. I just was like, this team should have been good. Mm-hmm. But I was I don't know. You know, with Forky, I actually like. I don't know. I think he would actually not even do that bad in that region. Like, I think that roster is improved. Yeah,
I think Forky needs an environment where he's
I
coming
think he
in
could be good.
as not
Nah, he's
like
rubbish, man.
the man on the team. Perhaps like he can learn. I think he can learn a lot from Amphis Fever and with Jimmer as well. So perhaps that could be a situation. Yeah,
You're saying if he had two more experienced players on the team with him,
I just think Amphis
To
and
learn
Fever,
from.
are just better than him
like
as well.
Garrett and
like
Justin.
in all facets. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
NRG Forky.
Wow, what a loop back around to NRG.
We're really
huh?
looping back around here.
Yeah.
This is great.
Imagine what a world that would be.
Hang on. I want to saying Forky can improve an OCE team is disrespect to OCE. Well, I just don't think it is. I think we're saying that a player like could just improve a team. Like if they, like if they have potential. I don't know. I just don't think what we're saying that a player can improve a team that's just got top 5 to 8 in OCE. Come on.
Jack is basically saying that Torsos is one of the worst
Come on.
Rocket League players around.
Instigator.
Because Forky is a fraud. So, bro,
You think they're both
I
frauds,
mean,
though?
Forky.
no. Torsos.
Explain, RG,
Yeah,
explain.
Torsos needs to go. Torsos
He
needs to go,
had
but-
a fraud-like game, or he had a fraud-like regional, but he's not a
I
fraud.
mean, the Game 7, that was some of the worst Rocket League gameplay I've seen from a player.
Okay, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
Maybe I have to
if
go
you-
back and look at it.
Yeah.
There are a few
Oh.
open, just free goals from
No,
third man creeping
seriously.
and stuff like that.
He was looking like a bubble player.
Fair play.
But no, well, yeah, that's anyway. Well, Forky could be a topic for another. I know we don't have much long left, Rizzo. There's obviously some. Did we talk about the freestyle stuff last week? I don't know how much we want to get into the freestyle situation. Or that
Oh
might be
my
topic for
God.
That's
another
just so cringe. In my
week. Do we want to finish on that?
In my books.
Do we want to finish on the freestyle situation?
Oh yeah, I guess we could finish up on it real quick.
I've been so entertained by the looking at like all of the videos that freestylers are putting up of them
It's
just getting
like-
challenged. That to me, that is so funny.
Those are the
Like,
worst.
I love that
actually,
content.
The first time I watch it, in every new video that comes out, I go, and then I realize that they're not joking. Like I
I
genuinely
love
think
the
they're
content. I
joking
hope
every
that they keep going because I've actually never watched or never wanted to watch a freestyler stream before, but now I do. If they're just trying to freestyle and people are just challenging them,
It's so
that's
funny.
excellent content. I
Yeah.
think they should keep it
But
up.
Oh my God.
The thing is,
Yeah, it's
for
really
me,
funny.
I was like sympathetic, right? I'm like, oh man, that really sucks. Like they lost it, and then I hear they're tanking 1,000 MR. Dude, I'm like, well, yeah, that's definitely like shitty. You should do it in a private match. Like that makes sense. But then you
Yeah.
see the Twitter videos, and like some of the
Twitter
tweets,
videos.
it's not all of them. Trust me, it's like the young ones that like don't represent the whole freestyle community. So I'll give you a PR
Yeah.
move right there. But like, some
It's
of
not
them
all of
are
them,
like,
it's not all of
yeah,
them.
they'll be like, oh yeah,
course.
my playstyle doesn't let me get challenged, and like. We used to play against freestylers and we would see it as inspirational. So now players are inspired by us. And like you would see those tweets and be like, oh my God.
They
oh,
should
it's so
be
cringe.
inspired
Like,
by the
actually,
challenges. The challenges should inspire them. If they
Yeah.
want people to be inspired by the freestyles, they should be inspired by the challenges. Be like, man, that guy really got me there, and they should, they should take it.
I
take
think
a
the
lesson from it.
perfect thing like that we saw this weekend as well, or yesterday, was Gyro hit the first Psycho
Oh
in
yeah.
RLCS qualifiers. Like that's sick. He's doing it in a professional
pro
match,
games,
3v3
yeah.
match. That's when you want to see it. And the funniest part about these videos is that most of the clips are them getting beaten to the middle, like the mid boost, because they're trying to go off the ceiling. They get beat to the mid boost, leave. No, I don't want that. I'm having. Oh my
It's class.
I
But
mean,
no, it's not. It's not all the
It's so
freestyle community.
sad.
There is one. There's one like concern that I feel like we have to bring up, which I think is valid, and that is, there's a lot of fake or clips that have been cheated basically in private matches, and that's one of the reasons why they say that private matches don't work. But I've yet to understand why you can't just live stream a private match, show that it's legit on the stream before streaming it, and then
because
what would be
you
wrong
don't,
about that?
yeah, but because you don't always play Rocket League when streaming. Like I'm sure they, a lot of them want to freestyle in their own time. You can't always just make them stream every time they play the game. Do you get what I mean?
Well, every time if they're going for content, then I think you might have to. There has to be like evidence, I guess, like that.
Well,
Because
perhaps-
if that's the
there's
issue,
got-
if you're going for clips and you want to be like competitive freestyle,
Yeah, someone made a point they could have
I
a
guess
bad
you have to.
PC. Like they just use GIF your game or something.
yeah, to be fair, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's
I
true,
was,
but
I was
Sorry,
talking
Sizz,
about this yesterday, and just like I mean, this whole scenario is the same thing as Call of Duty trick shotting. Honestly, like,
Mhm.
and in COD there was only one game mode. Like, this is separated in Rocket League to ranked and casual. So, like, my consensus was just like, I mean, if you're doing it in casual, just do it in ranked. It's even more impressive because then like your clips you have even more value. It's like in COD, you're basically just playing ranked all the time in COD. Like, especially nowadays, with skill based matchmaking.
Yeah.
So it's like, people are still doing trick shots now in COD, and they're still hitting shots and on against good players. And it's like it's more impressive. And like that community has been developed way longer than the freestyle community. So they know what they're doing. And like they're still doing it. They're basically playing COD's version of ranked with skill-based matchmaking and still being able to hit these shots. So like, I mean, the trick shot, if the freestylers in Rocket League don't want to do it in casual, then I mean that's their problem. They suck. What do you want me to tell you?
There are
not.
good ones. Like there are ranked
playstyle doesn't
freestylers
let
who are
them,
like
bro.
insanely high ranked and doing like clipping like examples.
Yeah,
like, really high-rated
Hankovic, an
freestyle.
example. Like they're
I know
way
Jay-Z
more
does
impressive
videos like
to me
that.
than anyone else.
I'm gonna
Dark's pogos.
I'm gonna give you the
Dark RL's pogoing on people in like the top 20 of 1v1 right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you
He's
the
not even doing it
freestyle
to
take for
freestyle.
that, by the way, because people say like, oh, just do it in competitive or whatever. But there's legitimately like different styles of freestyling where there are like comp clippers, where those are the ones you're naming, and then there's like the casual clippers. Like they've made their own little different styles of like, the people doing quad resets are not the same as the comp clippers, whereas the comp clippers are going for like the psychos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
I mean,
casual clippers
is
though.
like the style they're going for is like it doesn't work against anyone who can
Yeah,
aerial
like,
because
as
it's a
many as
really
you can
really
do.
Yeah, the
slow
comp
setup,
clippers
and,
are the
there
ones
is
that
a
are more
skill to that.
realistic. Yeah.
But like I get that, but
Yeah.
surely that should just be like, okay, if you want to be that, then you got to do it in private matches. Like you can't be doing that on super low rated players. It's just not right.
But also,
again, it's
I don't-
also against the TOS now, so like there's no.
I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if I'm different on this. When I'm watching these casual, like, hitting 85,000 flip resets, like slow, it's like watching slow motion, like it's cool. I'm not thinking, oh my God, like he hit it over the top of a defender, because I'm like, well, okay, but it's not about whether he gets it over the top of a defender or outplays the like there's no defense. Like if he does it in free play or he does it in a casual game, I'd look at the clip and treat it exactly the same, because I know that like clearly he's not versing anyone that like can has two
I don't
thumbs.
think he would though. Like there is something to it being in a game. Like I do get that. Like even if the guy has no thumbs and he's playing on like a potato, like he's still like it's still in a game. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
because
it is
don't wanna
different.
say it.
It's weird.
They don't want to say it, but they want to
Maybe
just be
private
better.
matches the same.
I think they just like no one wants to say it. I'd have a
Because
lot
you
of
dunked
respect
on
if somebody
somebody.
said this. If they say, "Nah, I just want to dunk on these kids who are complete garbage
Yeah.
and show how much better I am at the game than them," because there's going to be some satisfaction to that. You like being better at a video game than
Right.
someone is
A lot of
enjoyable.
people feel like that. That's
But, like,
literally what smurfing is.
Validation.
Yeah, why are they all like? I feel like a lot of freestylers are hiding behind this. Like, I think there's validity to it, but it's not the full story when they say that. Well, we have to use ranked because casual, or rather, private matches can be manipulated and faked. I'm thinking, just say it. Just say you want to clip on people who can't aerial. Just say it. Like, we know that you'd rather do that than clip on your friend who's sitting in goal not doing anything. Like, we can all understand like where you're coming from if you just say that, but no one is saying that. They don't want to admit it, even though it's so obvious to me that that's like part of it for some of them. And I want to say
Like a
again, some
thrill.
they're not all freestylers are the same, but like a lot of them, I think, fall into that category.
Yeah.
Entitled. I saw a tweet that was really funny to me. I don't think I can find it right now. I don't want to like. I think you looked at the same tweet as well in the video you made, Rizzo, where somebody was complaining that their MMR has now been raised so much, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the quote was something like, "I now have to play against players who are way better than me at the game." I was like, the irony here is crazy. That this guy
I
kept
saw
his
that
rating,
too.
like deliberately 500 MMR, and
Yeah.
now you're complaining that you have to play against people who are way better at the game than you. Literally what you want to do on the other side. Like, how can you not see how that is so hypocritical? I don't know.
And he also said, like, they've put me up to champ 1 when actually my ones rank is diamond 1. But in 2s and 3s, he was like grand champ. Like, just because you're diamond 1 in 1s doesn't mean you're a diamond 1 player. Like, well, you're better than diamond 1.
Somebody looked up the account of one of the people like who was in the video, and it was like a plat player. I was like, oh no, not a plat player. My style doesn't work against this.
Yeah.
Why do they do
Yeah,
freestyle events?
Well, that's why
as
they
well?
got to go down to silver.
I hate
because
the
of plat
freestyle
players.
events.
I
should-
think the freestyle events are cool. I
No,
like
they
them.
should add the money to RLCS.
Nah, well, number one, the money doesn't come from the RLCS prize pool. It's a totally different, like, I know from, like, trying to
Get
do
rid of
events like this in the
freestyle,
past, it's a completely different, like, budget. Like, the freestyling, you know, the sponsors that are interested in that are not, like, always the
It's like
ones that are interested in
community
RLCS.
versus esports.
Yeah.
They both help each other out. Like, if
It's like
freestyling
content,
grew,
yeah.
if freestyling blew up, it would actually help, like, RLCS. If RLCS blows up, it helps freestyling. I feel like they help each other a lot. I like the events, personally.
Yeah,
I like the ones that land and not.
Archie just wants the money though.
Yeah, but no, it's because the lamb one was horrible because you can't. They just could not pull it off in front of like that many people.
Your mech's a bit off, yeah.
I
Like,
think I could have done better goals.
like no, genuinely, I think you could.
Well, you wouldn't be as
No, you guys
nervous.
will
It's
vote
totally
for
different.
sure.
I
Like,
feel like you
they-
might have been able to. Yeah.
Because they're just it just didn't. I don't know. I don't watch freestyle events online, but I watched the one at LAN and I felt bad for them a little bit because I know that it was like it would have been really hard. I don't know. There was I swear they got a car like in one of the other freestyle events. I was
Yeah,
like,
where's
"Oh,
my
come
car
on."
for winning regional?
Yeah, where's our cars? I was like, no, I do get that it's good for content and stuff. Like I
Thing
think
with
it deserves a place still.
the thing with those freestyle tournaments though is that like you don't defend right. The whole gig is like once they're in the air, you let them score. And like, but the problem is like, you know, and the whole casual thing that I think you asked like, hey, freestyle 1v1 at the start of the game, and you don't defend. So like, it's just like a whole different thing. Like casual games, I understand it's casual and not, but you're still playing the game. You're still like defending and stuff. But it may be if like the freestyle 1v1s, you could save the ball or something, then it might be like a different thing. But their whole gig is like, you know, there's literally no defense. Like you just you know, let your controller go in net, and then you
I
have
think
your
it's gone
turns.
too
yeah.
crazy. Like the aim. I would kind of be interested to see a freestyle competition where like shots are landing way more often. Because right now, I think they kind of just go for ridiculously, like incredibly difficult shots over and over again that are most of the time just not going to work. Like it'll be a 5% hit rate, and you're just going for it and hoping you can get the clip and win. But what if the judging was like different, so that instead of that, players are going for shots that they can hit like 80-90% of the time.
Isn't that-
dunk contest of this.
The judging system to these freestyle like tournaments is so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
the judging
it's
system
I
terrible.
think if somebody hits like
It's
you know,
so
if
bad.
I feel like for me, I don't really know too much about the judging thing, but I reckon if somebody hit like, you know, 8 shots in a freestyle 1v1 that were all like, you know, 8 out of 10s, that's better than I think they should beat somebody who just missed 9 times then hit a 9 one time.
It's
like
really
that's like
why is it only the
surfing,
high
isn't it?
score?
Like surfing,
yeah.
you just need one good wave. Like that's sort of
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
freestyling.
I mean, the NBA dunk contest has turned into absolute trash as of late. If you guys have
So
kept
bad.
up
I don't
with
even
it.
watch it anymore. I
But-
give up.
It's so bad now, but like back in the day, you know, it used to be actually like, I mean, they like nowadays people will go for any dunk and they'll just get 10s across the board, you know, like they'll just do normal dunk. Like, I mean, they're still good dunks, but they're not like unreal. Like the best dunk contest in history was like the most recent, like the recent one with Zach Levine and I forgot who the other one was, but like in that dunk contest, they were actually going for like dunks no one's ever seen before. And the issue was still that the judges, no matter what dunk it was, were giving them 10s. Like, and that still is with Rocket League. Like, you need to lower the rating. Like, the ratings should always be like start off at like a 6. Like 6 should be like even like a sick freestyle. If it's not something you've never seen before, but you've seen it before like multiple times, like this should be like a 6. But like it should be a certain amount of set tries, and I mean consistency is important. But the ratings, even if they're consistent, should still be low.
What if it was like your best 3 shots like added up all together, so you can't just hit one 6 shot and then do 9 flunking them? Like you have to post some
that'd be
scores
good.
out there or something.
Yeah, well,
think
that
you
would be
should
better
do-
for viewers. That would be
I
way
just
better
think you
because now
should
you're.
do all 10 shot or like all 9 shots, whatever it is, how many shots they get, all 10 shots, add it together.
Yeah, because then, well, it's a better viewing experience. Like maybe overall, like the winning shot's not going to be as good, but the viewers will actually get to see some goals instead of just like watching misses all the time. And
It
I
was
mean,
so.
it's not even the
it was so
freestyler's
boring
fault for
it
going
was.
for that. They know
No.
that they just have to hit one big shot and they win. So it's smart to do that. But if you change the format and the average, you know, score was what's used, they wouldn't do like a really, really risky shot that never works. They'd just go for something that really is still a really good shot, but will work most of the time. Like, it'd be better for viewers.
Agreed.
Archie just like, or now just remove it
Just
entirely.
give me-
He's like,
Yeah,
just give me the
I was
50k, bro.
Have you heard about the ERA RCS prize pool? Chuck it in there.
Bro, give everything to the RCS prize pool.
Just the whole.
I'll
what
just make the lands better. Like,
All right,
What
we
do you
do.
think of?
I was gonna say final thoughts. So final thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, Jack. What is it, Jack? Hit us.
Well, no, because this is a whole. I'll just say it anyway. Like,
I'll speed run.
Speed run.
yeah, speed run. Like part of like the battle pass sales going into or rocket pass, whatever, going into the prize pool for RCS.
Crowdfunding.
100%.
yeah, they should do
yeah,
that,
they
but
should do
then
that.
they will never
100%.
do that. They will never do that.
Yeah, but you need
Would
to.
you-
Science
Would you
and
rather,
that.
Jack? Would you rather not get paid for team decals and have crowdfunding for RLCS?
Yes. Huh? Yeah. No, like, yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like the battle pass,
that's-
the rocket
It would
pass,
be. It would
is
be
so much
much
more
higher.
money.
Like, wait.
Well, that'd be way better then.
I mean,
let's
a
do
lot
that.
of players don't even get paid for org decals.
What?
I think the biggest thing is that it's the biggest thing is the orgs like want that. So I think the orgs would. kick
Wait,
back against
are
that.
you serious?
Wait, is that not public? I guess it's not. But yeah, I mean,
Oh no, I hate orgs, bro. Are you serious?
orgs
That
take
actually
it.
happens? Oh
Yeah,
my
there are orgs that take 100%
Orgs
of it.
take
yeah.
it.
The cut for esports decals is almost always more in favor, if not 100%. So it might be like 70-30, 70 towards the org. Like
Yeah,
that's their kick.
No, that's fine. That's
Orgs take-
normal.
So,
But I'm
orgs
saying
take-
100% the org.
So orgs take 100%, and then it's the player's interest to get it in your contract.
Right, yeah, you get it in your contract.
And-
Also, somebody in
and
chat said
the-
orgs should get that. No, bro, the players are doing the
No,
work. The org
yeah.
should not get that. Don't
Yeah.
you ever
And-
believe that
and
bullshit.
The average rate for the market, I think, is very low for the percentage for players. And that's all
Right,
say on that
I
topic.
really
Yeah,
doubt it
but-
goes 50-50.
I've,
I think that would be wild if a player was over that, but I get that. It should never be 100-0 to the org.
I've seen the reasoning for that be that it's not really valid reasoning, but what I've heard from orgs is that they'll take 100% of the let's say, I mean, I'm calling it sticker revenue, but I mean Rocket League decal revenue, but they'll make up for it by having a less cut on the tournament percentages, or like or like maybe they'll pay them more per month. Like those are options I've heard before that like the orgs use as an excuse to take the 100% of the cut.
I don't know, but like I just know like with older contracts, I know what like contracts are looking like now, and it might not be as relevant to get decal money, but like decal money was so big like years ago, like it was huge. It was it was like one of the biggest payments like you could get, and so like
it's like 6 figures for teams. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that like orgs are taking 100% of that and claiming, yeah, I mean we're paying you, so like. It's like, well, why the fuck are you here? You know what I mean? It's like I could just go with any other org, right? We could just go under ourselves.
Yeah,
and, like, make our own
players
org.
should avoid that if they are presented options, like we just heard. If the option is okay, yeah, you can get this immediate like lump sum and then no percentage of decals or whatever. No, I would say that doesn't sound like as good of a deal as it might sound. Almost
They
certainly
could
better to take the percentage cut.
They could add like if it was crowdfunding, like Jake said, they could
should
add
do
millions to the
crowdfuding.
prize pool. Like
Yeah,
it could
like,
easily
I don't-
double.
They can
I don't
already
know
have millions,
why.
bro. Epic Games is infinite money glitch.
Yeah, Dota prize pools, the
It's
players
crazy.
must love it. The players must fucking love it. They
Mhm.
make
I saw-
bank if
yeah.
they win, bro.
Was it an like the Team Liquids coach, Xparrow tweet? I think it was.
16
Or it's-
million.
Yeah, 16 million
Yeah,
for Dota. I think Dota prize pool. Because from
Yeah, if you look at
crowdfunding-
all of the top
And that's
earners from prize
25%.
pools, all the top earners in esports in terms of prize money, it's
All
like the
Dota.
top 50
all-
are all
yeah, it's all
Dota
Dota.
2.
It's
Yeah.
all
All of them.
EG from Dota.
And then it's like
They-
that one
they-
dude who
they
won the
make bank.
Fortnite World Cup, and more Dota players, and maybe one
Yeah.
League of Legends player. Yeah,
like,
it's all Dota.
I don't understand why we wouldn't do that because it just does. Surely there's no negatives. I think because obviously we're trying to finish this up, but like it's surely like
The-
last
the
thing.
pr-
There's no negatives, right? There's no
The,
negatives.
the negative that I've heard
negatives-
is that it could be like they don't want the prize pool to look less the next season if there's less sales
That's
or
an
less
ego
crowdfunding.
thing. Yeah.
That's an ego thing.
Ego thing.
They want it to be like consistent prize pool is basically.
Well, they
like,
also need the
only
money
counter
to.
argument.
Yeah, the
They need the money
downside.
to.
No, I don't think it's that it's
Downside
consistent.
is
I don't
they get
think
less
that they
money.
need it.
Yeah, well, they
exactly.
might maybe
Well-
they think it's like, oh, okay, well, if we do that, then somebody isn't going to go and buy like a decal from our shop or whatever.
Well,
I mean, again, I'm just trying to think of reasons why that might not
like
happen.
I don't think it's the fact that they don't want it to be consistent. I think it's that they don't want to be outshined by anyone. Like they want their like tournament to be theirs. Like 100% us. We're putting up the whole prize pool. Like it's us. Like imagine a tournament tried to be a higher prize pool than like an RCS tournament. They wouldn't allow it.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't
they
allow
don't.
it.
I mean,
They don't.
There's a reason
They
why
don't.
like
Yeah.
G8 just pops up with like the same almost prize pool, slightly less. It's
Mhm.
like because
It's
no,
exactly the
RLCS
same
will be
as
the
well.
biggest.
They don't allow
which is-
it. Yeah.
I mean, that's keeping RLCS as the biggest prize pool tournament. I think makes sense. That's smart in my opinion. But
I mean, well,
and we're talking about making RLCS prize pool big here, though, so that wouldn't be the reason. Because if we're talking about making donations
I don't know.
or whatever, not donations, the compendium is it called? That would boost the prize pool. So that's not really the reason I'd say.
All right, I think they've got ads.
Yeah. they just
Anyway.
got-
Oh, they got ads. Did they?
Story for another day.
Interesting topic.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
got a
circle
lot
back
to
on
talk
that one.
about with that one. I'm not gonna lie. You sparked something in me, Jack.
Yeah, well,
So you
next time you guys can carry it over.
They need the money for some new rocket passes, bro. For the new season, shit gets crazy expensive for them.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good time to wrap it up. Shout out to the guests, Archie, Sizz, and Jack, for joining us. Thank you guys for watching Shotcast number 15. You can check it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well as my YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. But I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Also, 4 FPS webcam makes it that much better.